It's July 31st, 2024. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the most secret meeting you've ever seen. It's time to get in the weeds. Jeremy Lambert is here. He's doing his best shock face for us all. The big news has dropped. Redid a whole thumbnail. That's what he's shocked about. Jeremy Lambert, how are you? Other than shocked, appalled, and everything. Jeremy's just gone. What are you doing? Now's a good time to mention that today we will be featuring the very popular In the Weeds overruns.
I see dead people.
All right. Can we cut the bit so you can start talking now? I'm done with this. We have plenty to talk about. Shane McMahon and Tony Khan have a secret meeting, a private meeting. I want to say secret meeting, but I have to be responsible as a journalist, quote unquote. Jeremy, I'm done with the bit. Can we go now? Can we talk now? I don't want to do the dead air bit. Dominic Garrini joined us at noon. And okay, that leaves just me for today because Jeremy clearly doesn't want to be part of the show. So it's just going to be Joel in the Weeds because Jeremy clearly doesn't give a shit. He just wants to play. He just wants to play Tony Control. So it's just going to be me today, and we're going to talk about a whole lot of things. And I can see the viewership going down because Jeremy's not here. All right, now you're just doing the scream. That's just weird. The scream is weird. Look, I can sit here. I feel bad for the audio people who mostly listen to us this way. But
what if I just made a bunch of shocked faces the whole show?
But I had to screen cap them and use them for other stupid thumbnails that we do. Stupid.
Let's do the other angle. Hold on.
Yeah, you got to get the other angle. Yeah, there you go. You're always on that side. You're always on the other side, though, so you were fine the first time. Doesn't matter.
I did that bit for 2 minutes. Come on, people. Pile driver finisher respects it.
And wouldn't go that far.
Everybody respecting the bit. Unlike you, Joel.
I don't respect your bits.
Factual. Everything on the show's a bit. This whole show's a bit.
That's true. This whole show is an unfamiliar bit. And then we make inside jokes. We're like, you make too many inside jokes. We're like, go TFB. You can start getting in on the jokes.
Do people complain about that?
No, just Kate that one time.
Oh,
Kate,
okay.
Kate doesn't count.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, if you're paying attention to Kate, I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't know. You read the comments, so I didn't know if somebody was like,
more or less,
you guys make too many jokes.
Usually my response to something like that is just like, too bad. Or you'll be okay. You'll survive. Something like that. Yeah.
I'm trying to see who leaked the photo. I'm calling out Alex McCarthy for leaking the photo.
He's now the Shane Mac insider.
I'm blaming McCarthy.
Oh my God. Yeah. If you're hating on In the Weeds, what are you doing with your life? Probably having a very unfortunate life. Look,
Sounds terrible.
We take fun little jabs at Busted Open. I know that some of you listen to Busted Open. I have a very important question that I probably should just ask David LaGreca himself, but what's going on with the quarter pounder and cheese gimmick that they're doing? People on socials are buying quarter pounders with cheese from McDonald's and posting them, and Dave is very excited about them. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Okay.
That's why it's very strange. Oh, I think so. Oh, Kylie thinks it's Jeff Jarrett who did the thing.
Ooh, that's a good call.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
I don't know if I would trust Jeff Jarrett to be the one to do it.
Do you think it was Jericho? Let's see who's on Dynamite tonight who hasn't been on Dynamite in a while.
It's not Jericho because of the people who got it. And the people who got the photo were not the people with Jericho's typical MO.
Let's see who's on Dynamite and see what they leveraged this for.
Shane McMahon joins the learning tree.
Oh, that'd be great. Kidding me?
It's going to be Brian Danielson. It's going to be Danielson who leaked the photo. He was part of the meeting. It was him.
It had to be okay. So here's the thing: it had to be someone in the Arlington residency, right? This is real investigative journalism.
Okay, well, hold on. So we should probably tee this up properly before we talk about the photo and stuff that we've already shown. So the big news coming out this morning, which was teased last night, Sean Ross Sapp said that it was Wrestle Talk and Sean had been working on a story together. The story was that Tony Khan had a private meeting with Shane McMahon over, quote, possibilities moving forward, working together, whatever capacity. The meeting was held at a private Arlington airport in an office on Monday, July 29th during the afternoon. And then it goes on that there were conversations between the two in this meeting about possibly moving forward, and publicly Tony Khan rather has said that he would be open to it and would want to meet Shane and so on and so forth. So here we are. This photo gets leaked out, the one that I kind of put up for 10 seconds while Jeremy was being the regular goofball that he is. That one. And all I could think was, why that photo? Also, he loves that water. That specific brand of water, Tony loves it.
That's the infamous all-out water.
Yeah, that's the glug water. I don't get why he loves that water so much. It's water.
Tony runs on water and coffee. Let that man live.
Coffee is water. I don't know. It's just interesting. This is very funny.
Let him live.
So here we are trying to figure out that photo that we just threw up. Who did it? Who took the photo? Who leaked the photo? Who walked in Chris Hansen style? So take a seat over there. And Tony was like, no.
What? Jimmy Jacobs. What if it was him?
Jimmy trying to get out of another contract?
Nah, Jimmy, they think this is. Let's be honest about this. If it didn't want to get out, it wasn't going to get out. So it's not who really leaked it. It's who took it. Who took the photo?
The Bucks.
Jimmy Jacobs. The Bucks didn't show up to Collision.
No, but they came to work that day because they were told, we have a surprise for you. And it was Shane McMahon. But it was Shane McMahon tied up in the room. And then they were like, surprise. And they were like, oh, what's going on here? And they're like, we're having a meeting. They're like, oh, fine. So then they came back and took the photo. But they leaked the photo because later on it's going to find out that Shane McMahon has been working with the Elite the whole time, not with Tony Khan. So it's not the Tony Khan consortium. That photo is going to come out and they're going to be like, we did it. And everyone's going to be like, yes, you did. And then Okada's going to be like, bitch, and everyone's going to cheer. And then we're off to the races.
What if it was Drew McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre took the photo and he said, I wanted to take this photo because CM Punk is the worst. I took a photo of the real best in the world. That's it. Oh, Shane's son? I hate it. Now you're giving real ideas. I hate it.
Nah. I like Drew McIntyre took it.
Cutler took the photo. Oh, RJ took the photo. I like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, RJ took it.
If RJ City gets a graphic,
then
he took the photo.
That's exactly it. Could you imagine it was so it was Rossi? It's always Rossi. That damn Rossi Agawa. Oh man. Okay, so sorry. Just to clear, no, the photo as of right now is not officially a storyline or anything like that. It's a photo that leaked. I'm saying if they ever wanted to make it a storyline, they could absolutely find a way to make that stupid photo a story, and we'd probably have a full day about it. It's very funny.
Hologram took it.
They couldn't see him. He was camouflaged. That's the answer.
Mortos. That's why he's on Dynamite tonight. Hold on. We might be on to something. Beast Mortos, who's never on Dynamite, all of a sudden has a big match against Hologram on Saturday. Now he's on Dynamite tonight. Beast Mortos. Feel like might be him.
And he just walked into the room. Oops,
I didn't suspect him.
Maybe.
He comes out in his big beast mask. His Beast Mortos mask. And they're like, how you doing here, Beast Mortos?
I don't know who else it could be at this point. Jose, the assistant, would absolutely take credit for it. He'd tell you he went to Texas, then went back to Orlando, where the weather is beautiful.
I don't think it was Jose, the assistant.
Maybe it was.
Maybe it was Scorpio Sky. And he's like, why aren't my vignettes playing anymore?
Oh, because the last time we played them, you didn't show up to work the next week. That's what they're going to say. I'm not saying that's the answer. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. So this story comes out 9 a.m. and I'm sitting there. I was like, I wish it dropped at 7 so I could have at least planned for this. I'm on the bus coming back from my morning work, and I'm just like, oh, now I got to rush home and change the thumbnail. And I did. And I hope you all love it because it's amazing.
Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy.
Oh, OC did it.
Yeah. What if Orange Cassidy did it?
He's not doing much these days. He has a match.
His sunglasses got a secret camera on.
Oh, he's got those meta glasses.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy has the meta glasses on.
He's a spy, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope,
Orange Cassidy. Known Fast and Furious aficionado, Orange Cassidy. I think he's a spy. I think his sunglasses took the photo and he's working for the government.
Okay.
Feel like we've cracked it. Thumbs up. Orange Cassidy gives this idea thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Shout out to us, by the way. We called it, even though absolutely nothing is official, that Shane McMahon debuts it All In. There's a short about it on the channel.
Yeah, that's one of my greatest shorts. Honestly, one of the greatest shorts in the history of shorts.
What's hilarious is that if you look at our numbers of shorts, the Chad Gable one is by far the most.
Yeah, someone died.
Allegedly, he's back to life. It was a gun. It wasn't a gunshot wound. It was just a bludgeoning. It was the jelly sandwich. We talked about it. He missed his face. He got his temple, and then he got knocked out. It's fine. But recently, after yesterday's show, we put up the which one was it? The Bryan Danielson offer him a big contract WWE. Yeah. That thing suddenly did numbers. That thing went up and beat our Monday show our Monday show viewership.
Did you notice that Bryan Danielson filed to trademark yes, yes, yes?
We know one of the people who watched our short.
Just saying, after we float that idea, that trademark gets filed. Suspicious.
We have pull in this industry. So
that's unfortunate.
It is, isn't it? It's okay. I'm sure the interviews will come fast and furious to us. If you're going to do it, though, at least leave a thumbs up on the video, would you? And while you're at it, subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked and tell your friends. Why are you doing
Why
that?
Is your computer doing that, Joel?
Because I was telling you to leave a thumbs up, because that's the sound that it makes when you leave a thumbs up on my end. So I want all that sound over and over again. No, that would be awful. Instead, you can donate a super chat any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. We have fun here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on this channel. And we pontificate and we come up with ideas, and sometimes our ideas are the best. And shout out to our pals over at Wrestle Rumble who absolutely see the vision, and the vision is clear. Give them all the belts.
I'm for it. I said he should debut at All In. Should confront Bryan Danielson after Bryan Danielson wins the AEW World Title.
And he should win the world title himself. That's the pay-per-view match. It's not Jeff Jarrett. It's Shane McMahon. We've been
finally
lost.
Are you sure though, Joel? Because that's a story that's only been 2 weeks, and then they got to reference something that happened a decade ago.
It's different. It's different when we do it. It's different when we think about it, because it's not going to happen. But when it does, then we can talk about it instead. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun if this happens.
Okay, let's have a serious conversation about this photo and meeting. All right, so let's get to the story. It's on the free tier of Select.
I'm putting up the photo again, not for jokes, so that people who haven't seen it can see it. Yes, it's hilarious. Yes, it's very comical, but it's here, courtesy of Wrestle Talk.
So sources of the meeting did take place with Khan and McMahon discussing possibilities moving forward. Sean Rossap noted that Khan has been open to talking with McMahon for a while, but it's believed they'd never met or spoken before the rumors about McMahon possibly joining AEW emerged recently. Khan is said to have been very open to using Shane McMahon for several weeks now, and has also made it clear that he was open to the idea of talking to McMahon when people have brought up the topic to him backstage. Those that Fightful spoke to on Tuesday had not been briefed on a meeting publicly. Tony commented that Shane was welcome to stop by anytime, but he also said he never talked to him, and that's basically the Fightful reported in June 2024 that Shane was under no kind of contract with WWE. As of that story being released, WWE confirmed to us that in an official capacity. So there you go. That's the actual reporting on the story, more than us cracking jokes here. So what do we think this is a real thing that could happen?
It depends what our expectations are here. There is the possibility of having Shane McMahon appear publicly on AEW television, or is he looking for a role backstage? Is he trying to be an investor of sorts? Shane has invested in other companies, not wrestling related, but Shane has been an investor in other companies. He loves the startup mentality. Started a bike shop, I think it was, after, and he did China. He basically ran other shops, or when he left WWE Digital in 2009, he started doing other startup ventures. He liked that life. AEW is still in that kind of emerging startup view. And for him to come in and maybe inject some money and some thought into it could be something that Shane's interested in. I don't know if he wants to be on TV. Could. He likes doing that stuff. But him being involved in the backstage, what does that look like? What does he want to do? What's his strength in this case? Someone's saying, is it leverage for a better TV deal? I don't think Shane is going to give that leverage. I think it's more he offers some backstage knowledge from his time in WWE that, might be useful to Tony Khan in how wrestling is seen. So that's kind of where my brain's at. He feels like he'd be better backstage than on screen, but obviously on screen he's quite popular.
I don't want to say it's not leverage for a TV deal. I don't know if Shane's going to be on screen or not. I think the buzz doesn't hurt when it comes to this stuff. There's a reason why AEW is doing a lot of big matches right now. They just did MJF and Ospreay. They did Blood and Guts, which I know is an annual thing. They're doing Hangman and Darby tonight. These are big matches that you don't always see them put on television. Certainly not in a row like this. I don't think the buzz hurts when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't think it hurts. Sean reported, I want to again get this part correct, that where's the reporting? Tony Khan and David Zaslav are both scheduled to be in Paris for the Olympics and plan to meet. Sources close to the situation tell Fightful Select. That was a report on July 23rd. I don't think it hurts if Tony be like, yeah, I met with Shane. He's might be doing this, might be doing that, not Sting. Don't know if he's going to be on television.
But I don't. Sorry, go ahead. No.
I would say, but I don't think it hurts that this stuff is coming out right now when we know they are very deep in having complicated talks and they're in the red zone or they're on the 10-yard line, but they took a sack and now they're on the 15-yard line, and then they tried to run a draw play on second down and it didn't really go anywhere. So maybe they got to settle for a field goal, but maybe they go for it on fourth down. I don't know. I don't think this kind of stuff hurts though.
Could be a lateral into the end zone. We don't know yet. Lateral meaning they just get the same deal again. But anyway, I'm actually more curious right now about what Tony Khan's flying, what his mileage has looked like. I know this is private jet, but let's just Texas for this, going to Paris for the Olympics. Got to be in Dynamite tonight. Where's Dynamite? Do you remember off the top of your head? If not, I can bring it up.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Plenty of places. That's a lot of back and forth. Or did he start in Paris, come back for Texas, and now he's moving on to Greenville?
Well, I don't know if he's been in Paris at all. Let's not. We don't know. The Olympics just started last Friday.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, is this something that happened early, or is this something that's going to happen? This presumed meeting between Zaslav and Khan.
Feels like it's something that's going to happen because he was in Texas when the Olympics started. So I don't think, and then he was still in Texas as of Monday. Now he's in South Carolina. I don't think it's something that has happened yet.
Okay, so he does this, he does that. He's a man called Tony. But instead, he goes to Paris sometime after this week. It would be after Dynamite. Maybe from Dynamite, he gets on the plane and goes to Paris.
Possible. Then he doesn't need to be back in Texas until Friday or Saturday.
Saturday morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious about that. Hey man, it's a lot of miles, and there are a lot of people who do it. I'm always curious about living that life sometimes. Also, it would make sense that if there is a meeting happening in Paris during the Olympics, it would happen after a meeting with Shane McMahon, just to say, hey, we did it. We had the meeting. And maybe if it is a leverage play for television, it's a little added incentive. That's possible. I think we're kind of on the same page that the idea of Shane needing to be on TV is not as important as what he could offer behind the scenes. There's a lot of information there. Oh,
so people are correctly pointing out the Collision tapes tomorrow. I forgot about that because I just thought the residency was always on Saturdays, but yes, they're airing at 5:00 for not so. So if we're going to talk timelines and hypothetical timelines here, you do Collision tomorrow. Now you don't have any shows from Friday to next Wednesday when Dynamite is in North Carolina.
No, is it actually?
Yeah.
Amazing. That's a weird. They have the weirdest path.
Why? How?
Oh, I mean, from a logistics and like production shipping things to the next town standpoint, it makes perfect sense. It's like it's just the talent because it's a week between shows, plus there's Collision in the middle. So it's the flying. It's just the way that you're leaving.
But most of the Dynamite talent's not on Collision anyway, so
that's fair. But it's just the idea that it's like most of them are probably going to go home or do indies over the weekends, and then they're going to come back. It's very funny to me, just the way that like it makes sense on one side, but it's tough to do it with the talent as well. But they're used to it.
Okay, so let's say hypothetically that this meeting is within the next week with Zaslav, which timelines kind of match up on this. And if they're going to meet at the Olympics, which is still ongoing in Paris, again, timelines match up for that. So now you have this Shane stuff coming out. Just seems to be smoke here with when this is coming out, what potential meeting Tony has over the next week, and what they're all talking about.
So Shane McMahon, AEW World Champion when?
I don't know if he's not going to be the world champion. He should be.
What title would Shane McMahon realistically look good winning?
All of them.
All of them at the same time. TNT should beat up Jack Perry. I wouldn't mind that. Always wanted to be the movie star. Had to beat down the movie star's son. That's the play. He wants to be the best in the world. He's got to beat Okada.
The real world title. That'd be good. Oh. He pulled that shit out.
I had a friend drop this to me. He pulls out the red sack. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the real world title, and it's mine. Yeah, that's the play right there. He comes out with that stupid X'd out world title. Oh my God. There it is. That's the way you do it. But other than that, do you give him the book? Do you let him have one of the shows to book Shane McMahon without putting himself on TV? Is he of that mindset? Is he of that interest?
Has Shane booked? And I'm not saying that, like, I truly don't know if he's like actually booked anything. I don't feel like he has. He's just kind of been a television performer. Yeah,
like people are asking about the same question. Has he ever been involved in creative? Other than that one Royal Rumble that everybody loved, and the morale totally came up super high afterwards, and his dad didn't say you'll never get a pop out of this company ever again. Other than that, I can't think of a time that did rule. I can't think of a time where Shane was ever directly involved with creative. That's been reported. There are times that I'm sure he's pitched ideas. That's kind of the collaborative mindset. But other than that, he's been mostly just there, doing the work in front of the screen.
Him booking himself to go over Brock Lesnar.
Amazing.
Rules.
People saying let Shane win the G1. No, Shane doesn't win the G1 until The Miz wins the G1. And The Miz is going to win the G1 in 2025. Mark my words.
Shane McMahon against Evil would feed my family.
I would try to feed my family with that. Oh, man. SP3 hates both of us for feeding the Evil agenda.
He should like better wrestling.
I agree. He wants to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch wrestling. I know he's across the pond, so it's better for him. But if he wants to wake up or be up to watch that, he's got to get ready for Evil. He's got to be ready, willing, and evil to watch every moment of perfection. That's what I want. Shane McMahon should come out in his first official act. I've signed Daniel Garcia. That's how you
get a big pop for that.
He would. I'm sure Shane would love that. And then he beats Daniel Garcia, and they have a full year program.
I think there's some value to Shane as an on-screen performer and authority figure, because Shane will take the bumps and stuff like that. Like Tony Khan's not going to be on television much of anymore outside of it's kind of what he does. I've already talked about how I thought they botched that whole angle and the usage of Tony and making a bigger deal out of that. I think there's some value to Shane. We don't need big time authority angles. I don't need the authority running television or anything like that. I think WWE does a nice job with how they do Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. They're kind of background guys. They make matches. They're involved in some stuff, but they're not involved in any major storylines of feuding with the wrestlers. Don't need that at all. I think Shane can play a similar role in AEW if they want to go that direction. If not, then I understand that too. But they got authority figures in AEW. The Elite are allegedly authority figures on Wednesdays, since they show up to that one. Brandon Cutler is allegedly an authority figure, but no one really cares. Christopher Daniels is allegedly authority figure, but they just beat him up. Paul White is now allegedly authority figure. Maybe he'll do something for longer than a week.
Ring of Honor legend Paul White.
Yeah, we shall see. He should win the ROH title, by the way.
You know what they should do? They should run back the WCW signing. They should run it back.
Oh.
The name on the contract says McMahon. Shane McMahon. I now own Ring of Honor. And the crowd goes very confused.
Would Paul White be the first person to... He'd have to be. WWE champion, ECW champion, WCW champion, ROH champion. He should win the fucking AEW title as well.
I can't think of anyone else who would fall under that. Maybe there is someone.
ROH and WCW, that's nobody.
Yeah, because AJ overlapped, but AJ never did win a title.
WCW. There's nobody that won the ROH title, and also
Ric Flair put the title in his hand that one time in Ring of Honor.
Jericho. Fuck Jericho. Jericho's the answer to everything.
No, but Jericho never held the ECW World Championship.
Yeah,
he held the television title, but he never
held the FTW title.
The FTW title was not the same one. That's like holding the WWE ECW title. That's like saying Matt Hardy is a former ECW champion.
Jericho technically, he held the WCW, the big gold belt as the undisputed champion, but didn't hold the WCW title.
That's also true. Did you know that he beat Stone Cold and The Rock on the same night?
Heard about that. And then he celebrated in his hotel with pizza that was wrong.
Yeah, and it fell on the floor and he still ate it because nobody loved him.
Yeah, I heard that.
But his dad loves him though. Did you know his dad played in the National Hockey League?
Debatable.
Tedrick Irvin?
Debatable.
Tell me about it. Shane should just run all of AEW. They should rename him Shane Elite. No? Come on. Shano Elite? What would he call himself? He'd be Shano Mac, but he'd just be Shano Elite? Shano Wrestling?
I don't know. I froze.
No, you did. What do you call him? You call him Shane O'Mac, but what's his All Shane Wrestling? That's one in the chat that I like. It's just him versus Ricky Shane Page versus Shane Douglas.
Shane Taylor.
Shane Taylor.
He's injured right now. Best wishes, Shane Taylor. Hope he gets healthy.
Who else is there? What other Shanes are there? Sugar Shane Helms?
Oh, what's he up to?
I don't know. I feel like he got a haircut, got a real job, got it together like his big cousin Bob. Shane Mercer. Yeah, there's another one. Shane Strickland might want to be part of that. You know, he is a champion after all. The idea of Shane McMahon getting a graphic before RJ would probably set off RJ City most of all. That's what I want. That graphic would probably break internets everywhere.
Oh, it would.
It would break so many brains. If you thought there was that one, the TNT graphic, the TNT UK graphic when CM Punk came back, they did he's back in WWE. That one, that hurt a lot of people's brains. The Shane McMahon with All Elite Wrestling graphic, that would hurt some people on the inside.
Yeah. Well, who cares?
Shane Haste is another one like that.
Popping ass like Shane Haste.
You bet. Anyway, Shane McMahon, possibly AEW bound. At least having meetings. The fabled TK meeting has finally happened.
I don't want to say possibly AEW bound.
He's had meetings with Tony Khan, the owner and proprietor of AEW. Look, listen, it's not like there was a surprise. It's not like somebody just busted in on them. It was very clearly something going on.
Tony Khan is very surprised in this photo.
Well, look at what's in Shane's hand. This is what's really interesting. We got to.
What is in Shane's hand?
It's a whiteboard marker. It's a blue whiteboard marker is in his hand because behind Shane is very clearly like a whole mock-up of how Shane McMahon's whole AEW journey is going to go. Big debut in Connecticut. We're going to run the Uncasville Arena, and then we're going to go all the way to the UK. We're going to London, and then we're going to go across. We're going to do the Australia tour, and then in Australia, I'm going to beat Shane Strickland or Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship in Australia. Then we're going to come back, and then we're going to invade Ring of Honor, and then in Ring of Honor, I'm going to become the owner. He's got a whole plan of action, and Tony's like, "You see this shit?"
There are 3 cups on the table and only 2 men in the photo.
This is a big discovery. Look at that. Oh, actually, no, I think I can already spoil this for you. 1 cup is for water. The other one is for coffee. There's a Splenda on the table. So one is possibly Tony. Although, is that a cup next to Tony's head?
Next to Tony's head. Oh, on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a cup there. So it's 4 cups on the table and 2 people. Although maybe it's 1 cup for water, 1 cup for coffee.
One of these cups might be doubled up. Can't quite tell.
You're going grassy knoll. Back and to the left. So who was the third man? I love this stupid show.
I'm gonna tweet this.
Yes, please. Are you going to tag any of these?
There are 3, maybe 4 cups on the table, but only 2 men in the photo. Who is the third, maybe 4th man? I'll say person.
Maybe
I want to allege that it's a man.
Maybe somebody is chewing tobacco in this photo. So one of them is a spit cup.
I don't feel like either of these guys are tobacco chewers.
Louis asking the same question. How many dick warmers are in this photo?
None that we can see.
That's fair.
Hold on. You know what we haven't looked at?
Oh, that's definitely a fourth cup.
Yeah.
Behind Tony's head. Yeah, I'm looking at it bigger now. And that's a Splenda on the table for sure. And Tony's a gentleman. He's probably drinking out of that bottle of water.
What the chair these chairs are very worn. The armrests on these chairs are very worn.
Yeah, the one that's been pushed out absolutely had somebody using them.
Yeah.
What shoes is Tony wearing? His black shoes.
Black.
Nice. It's nice. Everyone's all in black. I mean, Tony might be wearing a navy blue jacket. Oh, someone's saying Daddy Magic is the third.
Ooh.
That's the guy. This is actually hilarious. Is there a reflection in the bottle? Enhance. I should.
I'm looking. You can't really tell.
Now, are you zoomed in there?
Yeah, I'm zoomed in.
Now.
I'm zoomed in.
Yeah, I got it all. Yeah, let's go. All right.
Tony's glasses are on the table, or are they Tony's glasses?
Those look like Tony's glasses. Those do look like Tony's glasses. But yeah, there's a whiteboard behind Shane. Like that's a blue marker behind him.
Yeah, but there's blue writing on that board.
Well, there's no board. The board is behind Shane. It's not in the photo.
Oh, you don't know that. Let's not allege these things.
No, that is a window. That is a window in the back here. Because you can see like the three.
Yeah, that's a window. I'm talking about this photo like next to Shane's head. That's not a whiteboard.
Oh no, that's not a whiteboard. That's a framed photo of some sorts. But I'm saying behind Shane's head. That's got to be a whiteboard.
Let's not allege these things. We don't know.
That's fair. We are trying to figure out what's in the cups.
Maybe Shane has the blue marker so they could write their names on the cups so they don't get confused.
That is a good idea. Yeah, that's beer pong rules. That's right.
It's not beer pong rules. It's, just good etiquette.
Okay, that's fair.
You don't want to drink out of the wrong cup.
Yeah. What kind of water is that anyway? That glug glug water?
That's the Pellegrino, isn't it?
Is it? I don't think that's a Pellegrino bottle, is it?
I thought all their stupid bottles were green like that.
No, like they are, but no, this isn't the Pellegrino. Maybe it is. Hold on.
You sure?
Yeah, it's got the red around it. Normally it has white.
Is it Heineken?
Maybe. Who knows what time that was. It's not Pellegrino. It's something else. Tony's bougie. Tony's bougie. That is a blue marker, Chris. Chris is asking, is it a blue or a purple marker? That's a blue marker.
Pretty sure it's blue.
It's very blue. Is it flavored water? That's a good question. I don't think it is. I think it's real water. I see a C on it, or maybe it's an O. But it's not.
Let's Google green bottles with red top.
Well, it's a red band.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Oh no, these are reusable.
Is that where we're at? Is it reusable? Is it a Stella Artois?
No, but it might be Mountain Valley spring water.
Mountain Valley spring water?
The Mountain Valley spring water.
Hold on. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Got the red one. Is it from Illinois? If it's from Chicago or anywhere around there, then it's definitely that.
Well, Tony's from Illinois.
That's what I'm saying, and he's very Illinoisan like that.
Yeah. Green
water bottle, red band, brand. See if there's anything else that pops up. No, that's the one. It's that rich people sparkling water. People put it out in the chat. I think we found. Okay, so we cracked one case. This is a very interesting show.
That appears. I'm putting this out there in the universe. It appears they are drinking. What? Mountain
Valley spring water.
Spring water.
Yep.
We will continue to update fans on these huge
developments. These shocking developments.
Stay tuned for more developments.
Oh man. So really, at the end of the day, the most important part of all this
has been solved.
But the most important part about of all this is if Shane comes in and he's on screen, he has to do stuff with Mercedes. Here Comes the Monet has to be the show. They have to go back to Boston to introduce him. And they'll call it Here Comes the Monet.
What would that look like? Here comes the money. CEO.
Oh, it's Here Comes the CEO.
Money, CEO. Right?
It's very strange.
That's how it go.
This is true. Mountain Valley Springwater sales will now skyrocket. Why don't you just DM Tony? Be like, Tony, what water are you drinking?
No. Oh, I want it confirmed. I don't want to be like, what water are you drinking?
All right.
I'll ask Tony. I'll ask him publicly.
WrestleVote's tweeting out a little while ago. This is just before we went on the air. Asked a longtime WWE employee friendly with Shane for thoughts on the Tony Khan picture. The response, quote, Shane's as smart as they come. Taking a preliminary meeting doesn't surprise anyone here. So
yeah, but what do you expect Legentil to say?
You trying to say that the WrestleVotes, the L in WrestleVotes is Legentil? How dare you?
I'm just kidding. I don't know who WrestleVotes talks to.
Shout out to our social account for using the most regal Shane McMahon photo for our engagement bait tweet about what do we want to see Shane McMahon in AEW do or whatever. Do you want to see him in AEW? Shout out to our social team.
Yes.
Oh man, good people. All right. Should we move on? We spent 42 minutes on the story of Shane McMahon in AEW / having a meeting with Tony Khan / we don't know other than there was a meeting between Shane and Tony. And the photo. We spent a long time on the photo. That was the best part.
We cracked a lot of cases here, honestly.
We did. Tell your friends. If you're not watching In the Weeds, what are you doing with your life? You're not a well-rounded wrestling fan.
Ooh, QTV took it. Maybe.
It's back, baby. Harley Cameron did it to bring back the brand. Shout out to Steve Mack and QT Marshall for that Monster Factory title.
If we get a graphic that Tony Khan has a major announcement on Dynamite tonight, it's been a while.
I feel like the last time was Here Comes the Monet. Was big business, right?
No.
No?
Now the footage stuff was after that.
Oh, yeah. The footage was, that was a thing.
I hope they show this photo on Dynamite.
Everyone should do it. Everyone should be showing this photo.
What's it like in the middle of Hangman and Darby? They're just like trying to have this match and it just pops up. Pops up on the big screen too. So like,
oh yeah.
Hangman and Darby gotta like stop wrestling for a second. Like, what the fuck is happening?
What is this? Yeah. What do you mean? What is this? This is great.
Tony Schiavone shocked. Why is this photo appearing? Excalibur trying to break it all down. Taz is just annoyed at the whole thing.
But here's the thing. About this photo. Tony would be like, I don't give a shit about this. Next. Tony would be the least interested.
Is Jericho on the show tonight?
He is not on a graphic. He's not on the graphic.
Jericho would be the one to bring it up.
Yeah. No, the We'll Hear Froms are Danielson and Mercedes as of right now. And Mariah May doing a sit down with Renee.
Oh, Danielson should just do it. Fuck it.
It should be the background on someone's phone. It's going to be Max. MJF's going to be like, I'm going to pull out my phone and show you this amazing. Oh, don't get my background. And then it's going to be, everyone's going to be like, it's Max. So
that sounds fun.
Well, yeah, but neither is most of the shit that Max comes up with. So
Jericho or Danielson should do it. Danielson should. All right, here we go. Bryan Danielson comes out and he's like, the doctors told me that my neck is not healing the way it should. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to wrestle at AEW All In. As of right now, I'm not cleared to wrestle at All In. They said that it could take another 2 months before I'm healthy enough. So, despite winning the Own Heart Foundation tournament, I will not be able to challenge Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Title at AEW All In. But don't worry, everybody. I've got a suitable replacement. I've got a man that I've been friends with for years. I've got a WrestleMania main eventer. I've got someone who has had my back through thick and thin. Last time I had to retire, this man was there for me. When I was down on my luck, when I thought I was done with the business, this man was there for me, and he picked me up. He carried me into the next iteration of my career. He was there to fight alongside me as I fought for my dreams. He is the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
Shout out to
Here comes
Spencer
the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Dollar, 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 dollar.
Why does the theme song now sound like it's Louis Anderson or Louis Armstrong? Louis Anderson's a different sound. Why are you doing Louis Armstrong? Yeah, Ruckus doing the Shane McMahon theme would be hilarious. You think Shane would want to rap his own song? He would.
Oh, 100%.
He would. It'd be Shane and Mercedes just doing their own beat, doing their own track. I'm here for it. That's it. And then they go on a tag team run and they win the tag titles, right?
I mean, yeah, they should win all the titles.
Danielson and Shane beat the Elite. They beat the Bucks for the tag titles.
Well, that would require the Bucks to defend the titles. So.
100 days, baby. 100 days, and they still haven't defended them. That is them, Billy Starks. They know what to do. Give them 2 more weeks, and then they'll be on par. That means the Bucks are losing those tag titles at All In. You just know it.
Wow. Yeah, that's fine.
Poor Bucks. They'll never financially recover from this. Oh, we already did that storyline. I can't do it again. Anyway, there you go. Shane McMahon. That's the way Jeremy's going to bring him in.
Oh, I got a lot of ideas.
Oh, I'm sure you do, but we have to pace these out. Collision Underground is what you need to do. Yeah, Drew's got it. And Drew does a post AEW show. So, you know, that's something you need to do. What's next? But what should we talk about now?
Who cares?
That's true. We kind of buried the lead. I mentioned it at the top of the show, but I didn't really talk about it. Well, not buried the lead, but we do have an interview. What?
Hopefully.
What oh, are we still waiting on something? Okay.
Yeah. I want to promote it and then it doesn't happen.
Okay, then I won't. We might have an interview. We're gonna find out soon. I was told last night that we might have an interview, so here we are. Anyway, I was going to say something and I'm not going to say it. Margot sent a super chat saying, I love this show and you guys so much. Y'all are hilarious and so entertaining. Thank you. We appreciate it. Especially, I can tell you personally, last week I was not feeling that way, but this week has been a much better couple of shows so far, even though, you know, Jeremy's still here with me. Is Joe Hendry overrated?
What?
Did it happen? Did you watch NXT last night?
Yeah, I was fucking pissed that Thea Hail lost.
Me too.
I broke the remote.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
No, that's not good.
I was so mad.
First of all, hold on. You don't get invested in wrestling. I'm calling shenanigans here.
Thea Hail, dude. She rules. She's changed my whole perspective on wrestling.
Hold on. Sorry, we have to bring this back around. Shane McMahon on AEW is perfect.
How do you think that would go?
Talk about your father growing up. Next question. Do you still like your brother-in-law? Next question. Once upon a time, you owned a Chinese online server. That next question. Just, were you going to buy the UFC? Next question. You're doing this better than your brother-in-law does. That's the one. Shane O'Mac should be the guest for our show. Anyway, Thea Hail.
So I was so mad at this. So I'm getting ready to write this article, right? Because like I didn't expect Thea Hail to win, but I did expect like maybe that Kerr was going to come out, maybe a Julia video. She's in Japan, so I didn't expect her live. Something to happen. So I'm like pre-writing this article of something happening, and nothing happened. Roxanne just won, but I had the remote in my hand. I was so into the idea of Thea Hail winning. I've worked myself into a shoot with how much I like Thea Hail and how awesome she is. I had the remote in my hand, and then Thea Hail loses to the Pop Rock. I was expecting her to kick out. Lola Vice got to kick out of like 5 of these things. I was expecting her to kick out. I was so mad, and I don't know why, but I just like threw it on the ground, and then the back popped off of it. I was invested in Thea Hail winning this match, and I was so disappointed that she didn't win. And then, we didn't get Julia video or Vaca or anything, so I was real mad of that as well. And then I just did all this pre-writing, whatever. I still turned it into an article. I was like double angry about this. Very upset.
As you would be. Big upset wrestling fan, Jeremy Lambert. That's very, very on par for you. Listen, I'm upset that Sentient Cocaine didn't win either.
It takes a lot, Joel. People know this. People know I don't like wrestling. It takes a lot for me to actually care about the results, the winners and losers of these things.
That's
so
fair.
The fact that I was invested into Thea Hail winning says something about who I like in wrestling or the stuff that I'm interested in.
That's true. Listen, I understand it. I've said Thea Hail is amazing for a long time. Did I think she was going to win that title? No. Did I think that the match was going to be good? Yes. And it was. It was great. The whole idea here with the Pop Rocks getting the win is because they tried everything on each other and nothing worked. No submission, no give up in Thea Hail. So you had to beat her. 1, 2, 3. Because that's how you beat cocaine. You go down for the count when you're finally coming down from your high. While you're on your high, baby, nothing can submit you. Nothing. And then once you pop those Pop Rocks, game over. That's how it works. Science.
I don't know if Thea Hail will ever be champion. Really,
she should be.
I mean, she 100% should be. But I'm invested. All right, Thea Hail, you've won me over. You've sold me. What? I don't know. Just wrestling.
Well, I mean, her dealer could sell you one, so it's fine. I guess
I'm not alleging.
They'd be selling her.
Not alleging any of this.
What, that you're a fan?
Oh, that's not alleged. That's factual.
Oh, the Sentient Cocaine part.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. She's not on it. She is the drug come to life. No one's alleging that she does it.
Okay.
That's not what we're saying here. We're saying if the drug came to life, it would take the form of Thea Hail, the character. And then
I did read the story about Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa helped her. Thea Hail rules.
Hell yeah. And she's got a long road ahead of her in terms of her wrestling career. And I hope it's long. Like, I hope that she wrestles for a very long time, and I hope that she sees a lot of success. But like, she's still young. I think even Vic Joseph was like, this was the youngest NXT title match we've ever had, or NXT women's title match, which is like wild if that's the case. That's a future showcase right there. That's good stuff.
The combined age of Thea Hail and Roxanne Perez is younger than the
Shane McMahon,
Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk.
Oh, that's easy. Wait, what is their combined age?
Oh, no, not even combined age, just ages.
Well, that's true. Hold on. Roxanne Perez, how old is she?
I think it's 42. Their combined age is 42.
Yeah, so
Right,
Roxanne's
Drew's only 39.
22.
Sorry.
Okay, so Roxanne is 22, and how old is Thea? She's then 20. Yeah, so it's 42. They're still younger than Shane McMahon.
Well, yeah.
Well, Shane McMahon is also ageless. People alleging that the third man was Newman in the photo.
Ben Bishop is trying to say it was him. He would be very noticeable.
I think so. I'm so excited to find out who took that photo. More than anything in the world, I just need to know who took the stupid photo. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so I mentioned the Joe Hendry stuff. They spent all week pumping up this concert, and they kept it was a very PG concert, Jeremy. He didn't cover a song, or if he did, it wasn't a very popular song that we knew. And he made fun of Gallus, which is expected. Gallus gets their comeuppance. They're going to do a match now, Battle of the Joes. I think it's Joe Coffey versus, or is it Mark? Is he getting Joe or Mark? He's getting Joe, right? Who knows? One of the Coffeys going to face Joe Hendry next week, which, like you saw coming, they should probably showcase Joe Hendry as a wrestler once in a while. But what do you think of this concert? Was this something that actually, like, did it live up to the hype is really what I'm getting at.
It was fine.
The best one was the one in Vegas with Dalla, the Creed concert. He hasn't really
that one was good.
That one was really good. That got a lot of people talking. And of course, like the pre-produced songs are always really good. I just feel like this almost got overhyped. And I love Joe Hendry. I love the presentation. I get to talk about him weekly, but also I just I don't know what I expected. I should have known it was going to be a WWE-ized version of the concert. Did it sound better? Did it sound better? Yes. Other than that,
Here's the biggest problem. His target was Gallus. Like,
everybody's got to start somewhere. Unless you're the Rascals, then you start at the top of the tag team division.
Like, his target was Gallus. There just ain't a ton of like great material that the people are going to care about when your target is Gallus.
That's fair, but
people pop more for the Booker T reference and Chef Sean. Like, those were good references. But Gallus is Gallus, No knock on them. They're good workers and everything, but they ain't really been presented as a big deal. They came back and they attacked. I don't even remember who they attacked. I watched the program. I just can't remember these things. They attacked people, and that was that. Who they injure?
I don't remember. Who are you talking about?
Joel?
Who are we talking about? We're still talking about Gallus?
Yeah, they came back.
Noam Dar, Trick.
No.
What? Didn't they come back and they hurt Noam Dar and Trick in the same night?
No, then they jumped Wesley. I think they jumped Wesley.
Did they jump Wesley? Sure, they probably jumped him too.
Yeah.
And then we got Gallus versus the Rascals. That did happen.
Oh, Ivar. That's who I'm thinking of.
Oh, was that done by Gallus?
Yeah, that was Gallus. Ivar.
Oh, they had to run. That makes sense. We had to write off Ivar because he was injured.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, they tried a little bit with Gallus, but like, it just Gallus ain't a big target that people are super thrilled upon. But it's people that Joe Hendry can most likely beat, so it's fine.
If Joe Hendry needs friends, who's going to come to his aid?
Why does Joe Hendry need friends?
If they make it a 6-man tag, does Joe get friends? Or is this he beats Coffee and that's it?
He just beats all these dudes by himself.
Honestly, wouldn't hate it. I don't know. I thought if they were going to a 6-man, do they do more TNA integration, or do they, not, and just give Joe Hendry friends from main roster, or not main, from NXT roster?
The Hardys.
Hank and Tank.
The Hardys.
Honestly, my money was on ABC, on having Ace of Base get their little moment. Nah. The new music, the new presentation, they broke them away from Bullet Club. This is like we can do this now, and they're our tag title holders.
I don't see it.
They also aren't doing anything with ABC right now, fresh off of the victory. They don't have opponents.
I don't see it.
That's just like your opinion, man.
That's factual. I don't really see it. Maybe it happens. I don't think we're clearly going to get more crossover because Wentz is wrestling next week. And they're going after the titles. So I don't know if they're going to win them. Maybe they will. Honestly, maybe they will.
I could see them doing that. I really could, because they still like Wentz. They've come around on Wentz in WWE, and the person in the crowd who used to have a problem with Wentz doesn't go there no more. So you could probably get away with MSK walking out with those tag titles. You want some scoops? The Treehouse stuff. All taped at all taped at NXT.
Oh,
there you go. All taped at NXT, including the stuff that aired on TNA. There you go.
Oh, Motor City Machine Guns. Ooh,
I saw that in the chat. I think that's a good shout on many levels. I wouldn't mind Motor City Machine Guns coming in and backing up Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be them, but it's a good possibility.
Yeah. I would like it. Glassdoor Gamer sends a super chat saying Busted Open is weird. ITW is better than Busted Open. Busted Open is weird, but not in the creepy way that people are using weird right now. Rightfully so, in my opinion. But again, that's just my opinion. We don't get into that here. But Busted Open does. They're not as good as us. They don't spend as much time breaking down photos like we do. We're finding the third man, maybe the fourth. Maybe they're not men. Maybe they're women. Maybe they're non-binary. I don't know. But we're going to find out who took the photo, and we're going to find out what is in those cups. Coffee and water. But, it's just what it is. I do not want this job. I do not. I have told Sean privately and publicly that I do not envy his work at times. So I respect the hell out of it, but I do not want that job. Busted Open has never popped ass. That is an accurate statement of fact. Yeah. What else? Is there anything else from NXT before we move on to something else?
Thea Hail should have won.
Thea Hail should have won. What about Dexter Lumis? Should he have won that hair competition? Because man, he's got a new beat. Let's talk about Dexter Lumis's dreads. They all took off their masks. The Wyatt Sicks aren't wrestling with no masks on. Come on. Did you like it? Did you like the presentation?
They did a good job of this. I still don't want them to wrestle. But they did a good job of, they unmasked, and now they're going to be wrestlers next week. Super disappointing. They should just kill people before the match.
But they found a way to make you intrigued about their wrestling abilities. They made you not necessarily want to see them wrestle, but they made you realize that they are still wrestlers.
Yeah.
And in the story, by the way, I do like, and this has been, some people have been turned off by this, some people haven't, and I really like the idea that Adam Pearce was like, when confronted by Chad Gable about who these people are, and Adam Pearce is just like, yeah, they're under contract. They're cool. That's why they're out there. Have a match. And that's it. You didn't have to make it. People, some people have made reference to like, oh, there's going to be spooky dookie, blah, blah, blah. Why did they go and beat up all those people the first week? You know how you kind of get away from that? You remember the part where Bo Dallas had a meeting with Adam Pearce. What was the meeting about? That's TBD. But the idea that Bo Dallas, without the mask, without the gimmicks, was sitting there on the chair wanting to talk to Priest. And that's when things started to change with the presentation. It was no longer, it could have been, we did it to send a message that we're here and that this is our new group and this is what we stand for. And I'm sorry we had to do it this way, but this is how we had to make our moments, make our impact. And now the story continues that it's going after Gable for being a POS. It's not bad.
Oh, they did a good job with it. They did a good job of blending I don't want to say supernatural because I don't think they were ever supernatural. They're just dudes in scary mash, just horror characters with.
They're theater kids.
They did a good job of blending the horror characters with them being actual humans and wrestlers. I don't fucking want it. I want them murdering people. I want them doing dumb shit like setting people on fire and decapitation and disembodiment and fun stuff like that. I don't want wrestling. That sounds awful. Give me murder.
I don't think you're going to get that. I think you got the closest to it in the first week. Dexter Rob Zombie Loomis is wild. Let's go.
It looked weird.
You know what I first wondered? I was like, how it's got to be weaves, right? Like it's got to be the dreads got to be fake. They got to be sewn in. He did not grow his hair that long that quickly because he always had a very, close cropped.
He's been off television for like 2 years.
Has it been 2 years? Because to me, it's been a year. Maybe it has been 2.
It's
and
been a long ass time.
That's fair. You can grow your hair in that time if that's the case. If you can pull up the last time he was on TV.
And he still the last time he was on, he was on Main Event in May 2023.
Okay, so it's been 1 year and a few months.
Yeah.
In that time, so I think part of the hair is sewn in, which whatever, it's fine. It's all presentation. It's theater. It's what it is. I liked it. I really liked the way that his presentation came out. It was different. Joe Gacy looks like Joe Gacy. Finally got to take off that pig mask. It's hot under there. And it's good. I think the presentation is good. I like the way it's coming together. How do we know he can grow hair that long? We don't. That's
he might have used like some Just for Men or some shit.
Just for Men doesn't grow your hair. It just colors it.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Okay. So the anonymous ITW general manager pops in with the perfect comment. Sting, your favorite wrestler, he grew his hair out for 1 year, and he only got a bob to his shoulders, and his hair was already longer than Dexter Loomis's was when he started. So,
I'm not doubting the hair growing abilities of Dexter Loomis. Maybe he went down to Cancun and got some hair stem cell treatment to help with that stuff. We don't know.
Maybe he had the hair transplant going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's ways to do this.
Yeah, that's true. I just think he just had his hair sewn in. It's fine. The hair lore is what we're here for. That's what you do. This was good stuff. Why are they debuting on Raw next week? We talked about this, Jeremy. This doesn't need a pay-per-view presentation just yet, in my opinion. If you're going to do a 6-man tag, I don't think you need to do it on a pay-per-view. You can just throw it on a Monday Night Raw and it'll be just as hot. So for them to do it the night after SummerSlam, where it certainly feels like they're going to load up that SummerSlam to have some good character development. And what do you want to do with your most newly character-driven faction? You want to put them on Raw and have them do something there. Because the SummerSlam and those pay-per-views are there to make the wrestling wrestle. And then the TV show drives the characters. You don't like that. What do you want?
It's a false answer, Joel. It's false.
Sure.
The reason why they're wrestling next week on Raw, not on SummerSlam, is because Raw is on Sci-Fi. And they needed them to wrestle on Sci-Fi. All right? It's not deeper than that, everybody.
What if the pay-per-view was on Sci-Fi?
Then maybe they would be on there, but it's not. It's on Peacock.
But they have science fiction shows and movies on Peacock.
Peacock, home of the Olympics right now. So they need real wrestling on the SummerSlam.
Then why aren't the Creeds part of the show on SummerSlam? They're real wrestlers.
They're wrestling the Wyatts.
Not on the Raw, on Sci-Fi, not on SummerSlam.
Yes.
Well, why aren't you're talking about the Olympics and needing real wrestling on Peacock? Why aren't the Creeds doing a match then? They're the real wrestlers.
I just told you they're wrestling the Wyatts.
I understand that. And I'm telling you, with your frame of thought, that the Wyatts are wrestling on sci-fi because it's sci-fi.
Yes.
Because you want the sci-fi presentation.
The Wyatts supersede the Creeds.
But then why wouldn't you take the Creeds, who are the Olympic wrestlers, and put them on the Olympic platform?
I just told you. The Wyatts.
I know, and I'm telling you that your argument has no merit when you do that.
The Wyatts supersede the Creeds.
Maybe the Creeds just need new music instead of "Here we go." Do you ever think about that?
I don't even know what you are talking about at this point.
Neither do I. Kind of given up. So the Wyatt Sicks are here. Who's gonna even out the Chad Gable side? Is Ivy now gonna be the woman who joins up?
Probably should.
Feels like she should be the one to even out that team so that we can do a inevitable 5-on-5 or 4-on-4.
Yeah, Bo never wrestles. Bless him. He's like, I had to take all the bumps for Bray. Now I ain't doing that shit anymore. You guys are doing the work. I'm chilling.
I'm going to do the Mountain Dew Code Red match, where the winner of the match can only win by doing a Code Red. That's the way the match ends. That's Alexa Bliss's specialty. It's going to be Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez in a Mountain Dew Code Red match. There you go. Talk about Seth Rollins. Let's talk about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Is Seth Rollins the king of petty after all of this? Did he out petty the petty kings by showing up and being like, the rules of the match are I get to be the biggest bitch I want to be in your match? He basically took the spotlight from both men, said the rules are listen to me. And the other two are just like, okay, we're going to beat each other up and listen to you, I guess. And Seth is like, yeah, you listen to me. And then he has his big, loud black and white outfit a la referee, says this isn't even my final form. Seth trying to out petty the petty kings? Where are we going with this? Did you like the segment itself?
They're going to have a match on Saturday, Joel. That's where it's going.
Well, Seth Rollins isn't having the match. Seth Rollins is just going to be the petty bitch count to 3.
This segment was weird.
Right?
And not fully because of like Seth, but it just felt like flat. Like the whole thing just CM Punk tried to get the crowd to chant his name. The crowd didn't care.
So awkward, just standing there, just waiting for it. Oh, it felt so bad.
And then Drew's like, I got this. And then they just look at each other. And then the segment ends. It was just an awkward segment. Like I was not more interested in Drew and Punk after this segment. They've done a really great job with this feud. And this wasn't a good final segment to make me be like, oh boy, this is gonna be a match that's must see. I'm looking forward to the match. They've made it must see in previous weeks and months. This wasn't the best representation of this segment.
Yeah, it was not the strongest go home for these two. There could have been so much more. And again, just the way that they've had Seth integrated into it. You know, Ken is pointing out in the chat, Seth is being shoehorned into this thing. And it felt like the reason for that was, again, from where things stood before Punk got injured, or even just shortly after when you introduced Drew into everything. Like it makes sense from these three guys are intertwined with each other. That part makes enough sense. But in terms of the match itself, the match is Drew and Punk right now. Seth gets introduced later. That would have made more sense. But shoehorning him in as a referee felt like part of the reason was because they weren't sure if Seth was going to be ready, or not Seth, sorry, CM Punk was going to be ready on time. But obviously he's going to be part of the match. And they were like, well, I guess at this point we got to put him in there. And also you can't leave Rollins off the SummerSlam card. And were they going to just throw him into a match against who knows who just for the sake of doing it? What, would that have been enough? And I don't think it would have. You need to put him in a big moment or a big match to make it a little more interesting for some fans. So Seth is there. And the segment wasn't very good. They had to find a way to make Seth important to this whole presentation that has been honestly, it's been mostly Drew and Punk. Like it's always been Drew McIntyre first and then CM Punk when he shows up doing his thing. But Drew's been carrying this whole story. And then Seth is now here, and it is what it is for 1 week. And then it turns into Seth versus whoever, probably Drew or Punk. Well, whoever gets screwed out of this thing by Seth's weird shenanigans.
I thought Drew was good. I thought Seth should have taken a more serious tone. And I know Seth is going to be over the top with the outfits and everything like that. Fine. The outfit can be kind of his wink and nod to I'm still Seth freaking Rollins, and then he's going to go and he's going to have an even crazier outfit at SummerSlam. I thought he should have just taken a more serious tone overall with the segment. And then Punk, like, a lot of his stuff just fell flat. And it's not necessarily his fault, because I'm sure in his head, like, all these lines sounded really good and he thought they were going to like hit. And then it didn't hit. Punk, I did laugh, he's like, adding you to the match is adding a hat on a hat, but I'm sure you would like that. I'm like, I heard you use this line at the San Diego Comic-Con panel. I was workshopping that line already with this panel out there. I just thought Seth should have had a more serious tone, and I thought the ending was just flat of like, I have this end of segment, because like they couldn't do any physicality. And like they explained that of like, oh, you guys aren't allowed to do anything until the actual SummerSlam. Like, that was fine, but no one really had like that line that like that mic drop line that hit the way I think people were hoping for. Like the bracelet, I guess, was supposed to be that. The problem is like, even though Punk is, yes, the baby face in this, he's also been a dick. And so I think people just want to see them fight more than why they're fighting.
Do you think this is a little off topic, but on topic, because it's still about the stuff with Seth and Drew and Punk? Do you think this is a segment that could have gotten over better during the 7-hour pre-show that they're going to run? They're doing a 3-hour pre-show, and some people were immediately confused, and then some people were clued in that Collision's running at 5 p.m. on 5 p.m. Eastern on the same night. So counter programming is fine. It is what it is. That's always what WWE is going to do. Should they have run this segment or a variation on this segment on the pre-show? Would that be more enticing? And then just done something totally different on Monday. I don't know what, but some sort of interaction between the three. They still haven't they still include us on storyline as to what that bracelet is about. We know it's Larry and AJ's name, but we don't know who gave it to him or how he got it or what the importance or significance is, right? It hasn't been explained on TV. Am I right?
Well, the significance is it's his wife and dog's name. It's like a wedding ring to him. Like, that's.
But he hasn't said so much.
Yeah.
Is it just? Are we just supposed to be? It's supposed to be implied, and that's it.
Well, it's not really implied. Punk has talked about the importance of it, and Drew has even talked about like, I have your family with me. Your family is in my corner. Like they've explained it. I just don't know if people care. That I think that's the thing. Is I don't think the explanation has been lacking. I just don't think people really care of, all right, dude, you got this bracelet. Like, so what?
But it hasn't been explained. Someone in the chat saying he did it a promo. Was it explained that he got it from a kid? Essentially, I think it was either a special needs kid or a Make-A-Wish kid or something like that. I don't know if that was told during the actual build, or when it was stolen or anything like that, because the story behind the friendship bracelet is actually pretty neat. It's pretty cool, but they just haven't gone with it. They just, it's been strange. But yeah, people are asking, why is it a 3-hour pre-show for SummerSlam? It's because Collision is at 5 p.m.
No, that's not true.
Then why is it, Jeremy? Why are they doing a 3-hour talkie talk pre-show for SummerSlam?
The pre-show was already going to be 2 hours. It was like, they always do 2-hour pre-shows. The friggin' pre-show for Money in the Bank was 2 hours. They upped it to 3 because they up it to 3 for their bigger pay-per-views. I said this when it was WrestleMania. They are trying to make these shows feel like the Super Bowl, like big playoff games in football. What does football do? It's all day coverage of this stuff. There's no football games going on before the football game. All it is sit down interviews, highlights, analysis, all that kind of stuff. That's what they're going for with these pre-shows. I know on some of the pre-shows they've added some matches. Maybe on the overseas ones. I don't feel like they've done that. They didn't have a pre-show match on Money in the Bank, did they? That was just
people talking for the sake of talking for 2 hours.
Yeah. So that's all it is. Like, yeah, the Money in the Bank countdown show, by the way, was 2 hours. They've been 2 hours. So it has nothing to do with, oh, well, Collision's 5, and now we're going to make our show start at 4. It was always going to start at the earliest at 5. And if Collision is worried, if you're worried about a WWE pre-show, like cutting into Collision, then that's a whole different conversation. Like, just don't watch the pre-show. Watch the actual wrestling.
Well, yeah, don't. If you want to watch Talking Heads, go watch the pre-show.
Clash at Castle Countdown, 2 hours. They've always been at least 2 hours. They go 3 for the bigger ones. WrestleMania was 100% 3 hours. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it was 3 hours. It felt like 3 hours.
It should just be a 2-hour pre-show. What are we doing? It's not even that big of a card. Unless the Jelly Roll concert is in the pre-show, I don't need to see it.
Possible.
I'd be fine with that if they say performances from Jelly Roll from like across where they're doing, because they've got like a thing. What do you call it? Like a stage area outside the venue, right? So you can do a concert out there. That would be fine. Have a bunch of bands play. Make it a tailgate gimmick. Do that. I would love that. Something like that would be a lot of fun. I don't know. Just a 3-hour pre-show can be daunting. I don't think I'll be watching that. That's yeah. Louis got it. 3 hours plus of wrestling on talk on a Saturday. It's Grapsity gimmick infringement. That's why Grapsity started getting into 4 hours. Glad I listened to that on 2.25 speed. Glassdoor Gamer sends a super chat saying, have Shane McMahon announce the AEW TV deal. So I started thinking about this more while we've been talking, and I said to myself, why wouldn't Shane McMahon show up at Arthur Ashe Stadium for Grand Slam? If you're going to have him show up anywhere, I wouldn't mind that. What is it? The ties to London aren't there, but man, a McMahon in an AEW ring in New York City, the optics are wild. Let's go.
I could see that. Look, that makes some sense.
Yeah. And then let him, he doesn't have to announce a TV deal, but it would just be fun to do that. That's what I would love to do. What else from Raw got you going? You think? Well, let's actually hold on. Let's go back to the Punk Drew and Seth stuff. I know we're gonna do a proper preview on Friday because that's just what we do sometimes. But who do you think really wins this thing? Because now you got an idea for both men to get screwed. But where does it go after that? Who screws who?
I think they still do the SummerSlam finish, and they do Seth and Drew in Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. It feels like Hell in a Cell is going to take place at Bad Blood. I feel like there's a reason they're bringing that pay-per-view back instead of just calling it Hell in a Cell like they used to.
Just running 97 back in 2024.
I truly think that's what they're doing. And Seth and Drew as the Hell in a Cell match instead of Punk makes some sense. And that would be the way to get there. I think Drew should win, though. It feels like he's the one that's been, literally screwed over in every scenario with Punk. He's lost the most in this. Despite he's been the only one that's been able to wrestle, and he's lost at every single turn. But if Drew wins, where do you go with Punk? Whereas if Punk wins, yeah, I guess you could do Seth hitting Punk with the chair by accident, and then Punk is mad at Seth.
So Punk did say, don't help me. And I think that's going to play into the finish. I think that Punk is going to, this is the thing. I think that Punk is going to win. And I think it's going to be because Seth got involved when he said he wouldn't. Or Seth gets involved when he said he wouldn't. That turns into a big argument between Seth and Punk. And then Drew gets the roll up and gets the win. And that's how we get Seth and Punk.
And no roll up.
Some sort of finish. Maybe a Claymore during an argument. Okay. And they're in the middle of the ring arguing. Drew gets up. He Claymores Punk. Seth had backed up at that point. Got away from it. And then Seth counts the 3. That's how you motivate it. I don't expect any Seth Rollins heel turns or anything like that. These 3 guys aren't even in the camp of like who's a good guy and who's a bad guy, because this has been one of those shades of gray stories that seems to have worked for many. You got your guy, you got your pick, and it's made sense in the mind of whoever. You don't need to hardline somebody's babyface or heel turn. You got the Gunther the Gunther and Damian Priest story. You've hardlined who's a babyface, who's a heel. You know who is supposed to be where on that side of cheering. This is different. So for this one, I could just see that as a finish. Claymore 1, 2, 3 after an argument between Seth and Punk.
I'm fine with that. I do think Drew should probably win. I guess the reason why I don't feel Drew's going to win is because I'm just sold on Drew and Seth at Hell in a Cell, or inside Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, because Punk, maybe he's working, brother, but Punk was like, yeah, I ain't doing no Hell in a Cell match. Well, maybe Punk will do a Hell in a Cell match against Seth. And maybe I'm just buying what Punk is saying on, yeah, I'm not doing that.
And then the other side is Punk wins. And then we do Drew versus Seth. That doesn't seem as important to me right now in the story. It feels like the Seth and Punk part 1 match still needs to happen. And I think that becomes a 3-match trilogy that culminates with a world title match at WrestleMania.
See, I think they might be able to feel they can hold off Seth and Punk longer. And that's why they do Seth and Drew, because Drew, really both guys, neither guy wants Seth to be in their business with this. And obviously Seth he's already in their business. So Seth is going to screw up and hit somebody, and that's going to give them a reason to go after Seth. Drew is now mad of like, I told you, stay out of my business. I was just going to beat him clean. Here we go again. I get screwed over. It was Punk for months. Now it's you. So now I got to go after you. And then I'll deal with Punk at a later date, because now I got to take you out to get to him. Where does Punk go with stuff? Like, I don't know if he's wrestling Gunther. But they can put Punk and Seth on the back burner a little bit. It's just, all right, where does Punk go if he wins? If Drew and Seth go on their own path, is the Patriot available?
No, he's dead.
What about Mr. America?
Mr. No, he's dead too. Don't ask questions. I do think that Drew should win this match. And the reason I say that Drew should win this match is because there's been so much screwing talk, for better or worse. There's been so much talk from Drew about getting screwed over and over again. He deserves a little bit of catharsis in the story. He deserves a little bit of coming out and gloating to the crowd on Monday night and saying, I did this, I did all this, I won, I proved my point, blah blah blah, and then where it goes from there, I don't know. Again, I'm still in that Punk and Seth round 1 fight feeling.
Yeah, their round 1's not going to be inside Hell in a Cell, though.
No, and that's the thing. You have time to build it because Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood isn't until October. You have, a couple of months to get there, and you have a PLE or two, or at least you have big episodes of Raw, and you have PLEs to get there. So the stuff with Hell in a Cell, it's not like it's happening next month. There's still Bash in Berlin at the end of August. And then all of September does not have a PLE, but you could still load up a big episode of Raw wherever and do it there. That's what I would do. But we'll see.
Okay, well then,
curious about it.
Okay, so Drew wins. What goes on with Drew? Is he facing Gunther?
So here's the other thing, though. A lot of people are still stuck that Gunther is going to win the world title at SummerSlam, and I don't know if I'm there yet. There's still part of me that thinks that they can keep going with Damian Priest. I see the look on your face. I get it. But the way that they've been building him, they've been waiting to give him that full-on babyface treatment, and they're finally getting to it. Like, they're finally getting you. They finally want you to cheer for Damian. Not a maybe cheer him because you like him, but he's still Judgment Day. No, now they're telling you can cheer him. He is the guy. You should love him. And it's working. And I don't know if they want to get rid of the title so quickly off of him. I know that the chase could still be fun for him as a babyface, but there's just a part of me that's like, you could keep it on him and it could still work. I understand Gunther is hot hand and you want to build him, and you can go to Berlin and have that moment where he defends the title for the first time on relatively home soil. But I'm not, again, every time they've gone to the home country or the hometown of whatever wrestler you like, the main event draws are not winning the match, Sami Zayn not included. But like, they go again, I talked about this on another show, Clash at the Castle, when they didn't give the world title to Drew, but they gave the tag titles to the Unholy Union. And who was the third match where
Piper
Niven didn't win the women's championship? That was the point made. We can load up the card with your countrymen, but they're not going to win the big ones. I still think if they don't go with Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser is going to win some sort of title instead. Easy as that. Whether that be the tag or the Intercontinental.
I don't know who he's tagging with because they kicked out Vinci.
That's the thing. They had to introduce a new member to the club.
I don't know about Intercontinental unless Sammy's beating Breaker.
Which that's the other one that doesn't feel that way. It does feel like Breaker should be winning this one. But if they don't, then it's Ludwig Kaiser is going to win. But that doesn't make sense if you're going to keep building Braun Breaker. If you want to give him a title and give him that opportunity.
I think Priest is losing because Judgment Day is going to crumble. And that's where I see Priest losing. It feels like Liv wins, Priest loses. So now they have no titles outside of Finn and JD. Dominic is, there, and he may or may not turn. But it feels like Judgment Day is going to start to crumble beginning at SummerSlam. They've already kind of like, there's been the cracks with everything thanks to Liv. But now they're going to lose titles or not gain titles in the case of Rhea Ripley. And then Dominic may or may not turn.
That's the other one that's become very interesting, is where do you do a turn with Dominic and the love triangle, the Rhea, Liv, and Dom stuff? Is that still, a lot of people are so set that it's going to be Dominic costing Rhea the match? Does he do it on purpose? Does he do it accidentally? Does he side with Liv? Where does that go? And they've done a good job of kind of making you feel like, yeah, that's going to happen. But what if maybe the story is it was a mistake? And Rhea right now, I don't want her to be presented as this like love-struck idiot, because they kind of did that recently. And I don't like that they've done that. She's always been badass first, Dom second, as in loving Dominic Mysterio second. I don't know where that flip could come from and why it would make sense to suddenly do it upon her return, when her whole return basis was, I want my women's championship back. For her to lose because of Dom, that feels not good, but it feels like she's not going to win.
Why does her losing because of Dom not feel good?
Sorry, you know what? I think I worded it improperly. Her losing it because Dominic turns on her, or Dominic being the cause for it, is weird. Her not being upset with Dom because of it would be the bigger problem. Her not being upset with Dominic. She should be upset with Dom regardless of what happens. If Dominic costs her the match on purpose, obviously she's upset. She went with Liv. You screwed me, blah, blah, blah. If Dominic screwed Rhea accidentally by maybe introducing a chair or hitting her at the wrong time, whatever it is, and that cost her the match, Rhea should not be quick to be like, it's okay, we'll regroup, we'll get back. No, she should be absolutely beside herself. This was my chance. You screwed it up. Why are we here? Why did you do that? That's what I'm getting at. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
And look, we won't know until that scenario potentially plays
Exactly.
out. I think that if Dom turns, obviously she's going to be upset. If Dom screws up, I'm with you. She should be upset and probably beat the shit out of Dom, honestly. But
Wouldn't hit it.
I think Judgment Day is gonna. I think they're gonna kind of crumble here at SummerSlam, and Finn's gonna kind of be the leader. Dom's gonna be there. Liv's gonna be there. JD's gonna be there. Maybe they add somebody else to the group. Carlito is there, but like they've started to turn Rhea little babyface. Damian is definitely turning babyface. Maybe they're still like friends and stuff. They're just not aligned as part of a group anymore.
I don't know how. Yeah, who does that? You get rid of the Judgment Day? You split them up? You be done with them?
I mean, in this terms, yes, if they still want to call themselves the Judgment Day, because Balor is the leader now and he just calls them Judgment Day, fine.
Is there a world where, Liv runs one with Balor and then Damian Priest? It basically become a team of three. I think Carlito's just like, I'm done. Bye. He steals the PS5 and he goes. You would do Balor, JD, and Liv on one side, and then you'd have maybe Dom, Rhea, and Priest on the other.
Mm.
You can't really call them Judgment Day at that point.
In that case, I think Dom and Rhea and Dominic would be more Judgment Day than Balor, Liv, and everybody. But now maybe that's the way they split, but I just don't know if Dom and Rhea are together after this.
Why not? They're friends.
Because Dom fucks up or Dom turns on her.
But he's still. But you give her a black rose and she's suddenly back to it. She's best friends with you again. Does that mean so? Then so I go back to Priest again. Priest, let's say he retains the title, and Rhea loses. Next night on Raw, everything kind of implodes. That's when the 3-person split happens, where you have the tag teams on one side. Liv maybe joins up with them, and then it's Rhea and Priest, but then Dominic's like, please let me in. And they're like, no, screw you. You screwed us. Or Rhea saying, no. And Priest says, oh, this is interesting. Priest says, no, let him in. He screwed up. He didn't mean anything by it. But then by the end of the night, you solidify the screw. And then it's Rhea and Priest. And Dominic is officially with Liv and the other two.
Oh, okay.
Something like that could work. And then
I
you just send twins off to their own devices.
I don't think Rhea, like, she's upset with Dominic, but I don't think Rhea is being like, no, you can't be part of our group just because you screwed up. Like, I think it would just be, he'd get a stern talking to, but she'd still, be on his side.
And then he just sits there trying to speak Spanish the whole time. to Priest, and Priest is like, no, do it in English. She deserves to hear it. Oh, that'd be the way to do it. And then she speaks perfect Spanish, throws everybody off, and then we're off to the races. We'll see. I like that there are multiple angles, and we're not just sitting here being like, oh, it's going to be this is the only way it can work, blah blah blah, and then that's the way that the depth chart needs to look after SummerSlam. I think, like you said, the wrestling happens on the wrestling show, being SummerSlam. And then when we move it to sci-fi, I know you were talking about the Wyatt Sicks specifically, but that Raw after SummerSlam feels like it's going to be a very character-driven show. A lot of fallouts. How many titles switch hands, though? That's the big question, because there are a lot of titles on the line. I was listening to Steven Jensen do The Weekender, and he was giving his predictions for the show. And I know you guys are going to go through the card tomorrow on the spotlights. Jensen was definitely, going through it, trying to figure out what's going to be the results and how many titles switch hands. And this could be a show where a lot of titles switch hands, or like one title switches hands. What do you think?
I think Braun wins, and that's the only one I'm largely confident in Gunther.
You're missing one.
Oh, LA Knight.
Yeah.
I was not thinking of SmackDown. I was just thinking of Raw.
That's fair. SmackDown is definitely an old show that already happened. But I get it. Yeah, so the two mid-card titles, and you're still on the Gunther train.
I'm not positive LA Knight wins.
No? You think that Mr. Cleveland costs him the match? Still want to know who Mr. Cleveland is. I can't believe that they've got me interested as to who it's going to be. Maybe it's going to be The Miz, and The Miz is back on Logan Paul's side, and we just go right back to where that all started.
It's Johnny Gargano.
All right, let's go.
Johnny Gargano teaming and Tommaso Ciampa as the new heaters for Logan Paul.
That sounds awful, but I'm all about it. Vargov saying, imagine they actually get LeBron. Could you imagine? LeBron James shows up, flew all the way in from Paris just to do this one show, then fly his ass back.
I feel like LeBron's got a game on this day. Hold on.
Well, hold on. Check it out. But also, you remember, there's a time change. So, there's all that. Someone in the chat's pointing out eventually Logan Paul and his partner are going to have a baby. So there is that. But I don't know when that baby's due. But also, who knows?
Who cares? Logan Paul doesn't defend that title or wrestle as it is. This baby ain't going to change shit.
I forget who I heard say it, but it was like he's defended Trump more than he's defended the title.
Yeah, USA Basketball has a game on Saturday at 11:15 a.m. Eastern. So I don't feel it is possible for LeBron James to be at SummerSlam.
Yet.
This game isn't going to end until, let's be generous and say, 2:00. The Olympic Games are they go by pretty quick. So let's say it's 2:00. This game ends. He pulls a Logan Paul and immediately hops on the jet to after the game ends. Paris to Cleveland. Flight time. 11 hours. So it's not
unless
possible.
you take the jet.
It's not possible.
But what about the time difference?
Okay, it's 8 hours maybe. Flight time is 8 hours.
There you go.
What do you mean? Who cares about the time difference? That doesn't change anything. I gave you Eastern time that this game is starting. The time doesn't change anything.
So bench him for the second half, get on the plane, go. And
You
we're back.
still wouldn't make it. I mean, maybe.
How with
I
that
guess.
attitude? Listen, the show's going to go until midnight Eastern.
Logan's main eventing.
Let's go. Main event Logang. People would love that.
Look, you're main eventing with Logan Paul if you have LeBron James as the final person coming out, then yeah, sure, Logan Paul can main event.
Couldn't get Roman, but we sure as shit got LeBron. We brought him in from Paris, you assholes. Let's go. Could you? That would be fantastic. The discourse. Where was Roman? We had to pick up LeBron in Paris instead. Oh, okay. No one bats an eyelash.
I think people would be fine with that. Like, sure, Roman didn't want to show up. We got LeBron friggin' James. Like, all right.
But then you'll have the bad faith take artists being like, oh, LeBron came in way too late. Is he past his prime? We're like, yeah, and Hogan 96, baby. Oh my God. Glassdoor Gamer sent a super chat saying, perfect time for a Christian promo on Shane McMahon.
Well, his father's not dead.
Only in the public eye.
Yeah.
You know what? Christian would just come out with a giant blue dot and he'd present it to Shane and put it over his head. That's how he'd get one over on Shane. I Show Speed was born in Cincinnati. There you go.
Well, Cincinnati is not Cleveland.
That's true. We do need Mr. Cleveland. Who could it be? Who's the baseball player who's Mr. Cleveland? Has there ever been a good baseball player from Cleveland?
From Cleveland? I mean, Jose Ramirez plays for the Guardians. And, what if they got Wild Thing? Ricky Vaughn.
My God, you're saying Moxley's back?
No.
Oh, Ricky Vaughn. Vic Joseph as Mr. Cleveland sounds awful. Let's do it. It should be Mr. Miz. It should be George Mizanin. Miz is hosting, and George comes out as Mr. Cleveland during the Logan Paul match. That's it. That's it. That's the answer.
Could you imagine the pop, though?
Oh, huge.
You don't even know what I was going to say.
I don't even care. George Mizanin, the huge pop. That's it. I don't care if that's where you're going with it.
Could you imagine the pop if Wild Thing plays in that arena and people think it's Jon Moxley and it's Ricky Vaughn?
Awful.
Do you know who Ricky Vaughn is, Joel Pearl?
Yeah, it's Ricky Bobby's best friend.
Have you never seen Major League?
Seen, yes. The third one. The one that everyone liked.
I don't even think Ricky Vaughn was in the third one.
I don't think so either. Oh, man. Will Chisholm sent a super chat saying, I'm so ready for AEW fans to act like they're happy for the Shane news and WWE fans to act like they don't care. Hey, man, if you watched the beginning of our show, we spent 45 minutes trying to dissect how many cups are on the table and who took the photo. And who do we figure it out? We didn't. So if you know who took the photo, drop it in the comments.
We did figure out the water that they were drinking. I feel
we
like
did.
Big breaking news, though.
Yeah, we should absolutely be telling everyone Mountain Valley Spring Water. Now, when you buy your Mountain Valley Spring Water, take a photo of it and tag ITW. That's right. We are more.
Where do they sell Mountain Valley Spring Water?
Who cares? Whenever you buy spring water of any kind, take a photo and tag Jeremy and I and tag hashtag ITW water in the water. I don't care how you do. Just tag Jeremy and I. I can't be tagged in photos, but you can tag me in the tweet. Tag us, and we'll probably repost it. You need your bottle of water that you bought, because Busted Open can have their quarter pounders with cheese. We are having our water. We are going to be the water kings.
Everybody make sure you drink your water. Stay hydrated, everyone. I was at the grocery store yesterday. I bought some Mean Girls creamer. It's pink frosting flavor. Very good, honestly. Had it this morning. But you know what I saw? I was at the grocery store. Gatorade water.
That's just water made by Gatorade.
It feels pretty lame. Like, it feels like Gatorade is sold out by making water.
I mean, there are beer companies that also do this, but when they do it, it's because of wildfires. Gatorade's doing it for money. I don't like it.
Why is this water so special just because Gatorade is making it? Like, you make your sports hydration drink. I don't need you doing your water. You're supposed to be competing with water. It's like Burger King trying to sell like some tacos. You guys are Burger King. Fucking give me a taco. You're Gatorade. Don't give me water.
Okay, now I'm thinking about a Burger King taco. Would that taste good? You'd use the chicken sandwich, right? The long chicken sandwich.
I don't want chicken sandwich from Burger King either.
Oh, that's the only thing you get at a Burger King.
It's
You ain't get no
Burger
water.
King, not Chicken King. Burger.
The chicken burgers are a thing.
Sounds awful.
But
so I know Gatorade. I know Gatorade used to have like Propel. I guess Propel is still a thing, which fine. Like that's Gatorade. Propel was like flavored water. This is just called Gatorade water, unflavored. Unflavored.
Yeah, I don't think that's real.
What do you mean it's not real?
I just don't think it shouldn't be a real thing.
It is.
So I understand that, but it shouldn't be. It's just water. It's like flavored water. Okay, I get into this with people all the time. Either get juice or get water. Don't try to give me a bastardized version of both. Then you're just failing everybody. Give me one or the other. Don't give me Tang. Give me orange juice.
What do you have against Tang?
They served it this morning at the thing it just wasn't good. All I really wanted was some orange juice.
Look at this.
That's awful.
It's Gatorade water.
But why? Why would you do that? Unflavored. What'd that say? Unflavored, alkaline, electrolyte infused. So it's just water with extra shit. It's water with extra steps.
Just let me drink a water. Let me drink a Gatorade.
Yeah, that's it. It's fine.
They shouldn't be allowed. They shouldn't be allowed to sell water. When they like tried to trademark this or they presented this to the stores and stuff, they should have boycotted. Like, no Gatorade. You already got your sports drinks. You're already the biggest sports drink in the world. Your red flavor, your blue flavor, your green flavor. You already got all that. You can't have water. You're not allowed to. Bobby Boucher, when they tried to pitch this shit, should have ran in there and just smacked them.
Meanwhile, if you buy Mountain Valley spring water and take a photo, tag us in it, we will be proud of you. Mountain Valley spring water. If it's good enough for Tony, probably costs a lot for us.
How much do you think Mountain Valley spring water cost?
I don't know. Go on Amazon. Take a look.
Mountain Valley spring water. $29.
That is exactly what I expected. Nothing should shock you there. You're going to buy it for a case of 1 liter bottles. Well, maybe the water is special.
This water better like clean all of my insides.
That's bleach. You're discussing bleach right now.
$29 for some water?
You ever had Voss? The glass bottle's the only reason you buy Voss, so that you can drink it and then, guess what? Refill it with tap water. You looking at the prices still?
Mountain Valley's national distributor network makes it easy to bring the source right to your door. And then they got like a water tank out in the mountains.
Oh, that's what creates the mountain freshness.
They preserve the water like in the forest. Who?
People buy it. People love it.
Do you think like when Tony does like his budget, he's like, oh shit, we've spent 500,000 on water.
They got to deal with Mr. Case. They ain't spending the actual price. They got the business price for this stuff.
We can't renew Joey Janela's contract. Our water budget we've got to make sure we have enough money for the water.
Marco Stunt, you're cut. Why? The water weighs more than you. We have to keep the water. I'm sorry. We are literally keeping our water weight over you. I'm sorry.
You can get a t-shirt for less money than the water. The water's gone in like, maybe hours if you're nursing it a little bit. The t-shirt, you can wear that thing for years potentially.
Who knows? We got to do a Dynamite preview. It's Wednesday. Are you about to say, do we have to?
I'm stunned.
Well, Bargov wants a first program for Shane to be with Christian. Telling you, get that big blue dot and put it over Shane's head. Tell him it's payback.
What is the difference between this like sparkling and essence and spring? Whatever happened to just good old fashioned water?
It still exists. You should probably drink it.
I do.
Tap. Good. The tap is what you want.
Well, I have one of those filters,
Yeah, the Brita thing.
Yeah. I got one of those.
It's the only Brita that people like. ITW General Manager is asking why I broke you.
That's not true.
Which part?
Brita from Community. People like her.
Well, no, she's a no good B. Ken Bruno with a very generous super chat. Please buy a case of Mountain Valley spring water on me. Oh man, I love it. After taxes, we might be able to. Maybe I'd be able to get one each, Jeremy, with that super chat. We're gonna go find a bottle of it.
The best. Absurd prices for water.
Well, that's just what happens. People spend way too much on way too little.
Water.
But you know what you're getting your extreme value tonight for? AEW Dynamite. Live on TBS. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. Are we going to do this really close to the mic of ASMR style?
I don't know.
Should we do this like NPR?
Yeah.
Right? Does it hurt your ears or does it sound good?
A little bit. I don't like that. No, stop it. Okay. No, stop.
Okay. Do you want to do this?
I don't know what we're doing.
We got to do a preview for the show. There's
stunned over the water.
Well, maybe you should do it as if you were AEW CEO Tony Khan drinking water. You might choke after every match, but at least you'll be doing it.
I'll do shock.
Yeah, you got your shocked face on?
Can't speak when I do shocked face, though.
Well, his mouth isn't completely agape in this photo. Somebody take the screen cap. I should do the Shane. Anyway, AEW Dynamite tonight. You want to do the thing? Do the thing.
What am I doing?
You got to preview the show because people want to see the show. Did you put that back up? I did not put that back up.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's very strange. The internet. Spooky.
Who's the third man controlling this photo?
Who is it, brother?
Shane just stays sweaty. That's just his natural state.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Yeah. That should be the YouTube thumbnail. Is the three of us doing the things. Someone do. Hold on. We got it, baby.
Very scared of what's happening here.
No. It's perfect. Oh man. Ooh. I gotta get rid of this. Oh no. Oh no. I can't believe that alkaline water. I can't believe it. Oh, I took the wrong photo. You see, this is the problem with our show. I
What are
know.
you doing, Joel?
I'm doing everything right here. Okay, this takes time. There we go. Okay, I think I got it. You might hear the beeping sound in a second. Hold on.
Oh, this sounds okay. Sounds terrible.
It's just what happens sometimes. I probably could have muted that, but I didn't. Okay, here it is. You ready? Shout out to Brownbeard. They got it. They got the photo. That's it right there.
All right.
It's perfect. Anyway. Where was Andrew Zarian today? Oh, Bargov is okay. Now I know who you are.
Yeah, I just say it's Bargov.
Yeah, I didn't know. He goes under Brownbeard. My bad.
You just doxed him. Why'd you dox him?
Nah, it's fine. I can dox him all I want if I tell you where he's from. All right, do the thing. Are we doing the thing? Let's do the thing. AW Dynamite. Tonight.
What voice should we do, everybody? Let's throw a voice out.
It's almost like Mo Sislak. I don't think I can do the Mo Sislak.
Yeah, that's you. I don't do Simpsons.
Why not?
Because.
No, that makes sense.
Could you imagine if I did it while our guest just showed up?
I don't know, man. You should do it. You should.
If I was in the middle of it. I don't want this person to wait though. I don't want him to wait.
That's true. You don't have 4 minutes and 14 seconds.
Yeah, I don't want him to wait.
You can't do 250 seconds again.
You thought I was cheating on that, and I nailed it perfectly.
I think you were cheating on this.
No, did it perfectly.
Listen, we won't keep our guests waiting for too long. I'm gonna let you do the introduction, Jeremy, because this is your dude, your dog. Let's go.
What if we had Dom do it?
I'm all for it. Does Dom, do you want to introduce yourself on the show? Give us a thumbs up, and we'll just bring you on and let you do it. He does not want to do it.
No, he is. He did. It's delayed a little bit. I was going to say, I don't think Dom knows what we're even talking about here. Dominic Garrini is joining us, everybody. He's going to be wrestling at AIW versus the World tomorrow. That's here in Cleveland. He just wrestled Jinder Mahal wrongly, or Raj Dhesi wrongly lost. I feel that should be overturned. Dominic Garrini, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Just taking 15 minutes out of my work day to come and talk to you guys about some Cleveland professional wrestling where the eyes of the world will be this weekend.
Well, we were going to see if you wanted to do the Dynamite rundown. At the end of this show, we yell like Tony Khan does about the Dynamite card. I don't know if you know what's on Dynamite tonight, but if you want to scream everything that's on Dynamite.
I truly actually don't, because the last 2 weeks I've been playing college football with Dynamite on in the background. So
that's all right. See, we'll talk about wrestling. I've been waiting for someone to actually play college football. We had Adam Priest on the show. He hadn't played it. I'm trying to think who else was on the show, but nobody had played it.
Cole
Finally,
Radrick,
someone
we're doing the PC version.
Yeah, Cole Radrick. We don't talk about him anyway. Best wishes to Cole, but we don't talk about him. What team are you using, Dom?
So when I was born in Ohio and then I grew up in Florida. So I grew up during the Fun and Gun Steve Spurrier era. So Florida is like my dynasty team, but I have also, like, when I play online, I just kind of randomly choose a bunch of different teams, but I've been playing a lot as Utah as well. Big Cam Rising guy.
There we go. All right. Let's talk about some professional wrestling. Let's go back a week and talk about the match first with the former Jinder Mahal, Raj Dhesi. It was supposed to be Kevin Koo. Shout out to Kevin Koo. Best wishes to him. Hope he's healed well. You took his place. I don't feel like the result should be official, at least for the title. But what was it like being Raj's first match after the WWE release?
It was very interesting. I've never really had the opportunity to be somebody's like first match after their 90 days is up. Very tall, very jacked. Those are two things that Raj Dhesi hits. Also, just a very professional gentleman. He had kind of come in with a game plan. I will say that he probably had not watched any. Like he had done some homework on me, but all the homework he had done was very old homework. Because the first two things he asked me was, "Do you still wear the rash guard?" And then, "Do you wear shoes? Or do you not wear shoes still?" And I said, neither of those things are true anymore. So it changed around a little bit. Definitely probably structured a match, at least in his head, on an older style. And then kind of once we got really, cooking, it was easier to kind of figure everything out. And, very professional, wrestler in that regard. I think he's going to probably do well on the indies, at least, as well as much as he wants to, work. I think that obviously he's going to be in Cleveland this weekend for WrestleCon and GCW on Friday. He's got a big match against Effie. Effie was messaging me for some tips and pointers. So,
I like that he messages you, but he won't message our boss when he has a match with him.
That's very funny, actually.
Talking about Effie. Actually, I'm curious about. So after the match with Raj, was there kind of a how did we do, like a how do we feel type of conversation? Because like you were saying, this is Raj's first, his first match coming off of WWE.
Yeah, he was great in terms of that. He was extremely happy with how it went. I could tell he was probably a little, like, I felt like he wanted to do maybe a little bit more. He didn't know how much he had in him. Obviously, he said to me that this was the longest period of inactivity when it comes to wrestling he'd had in years, maybe ever. So I think that there was more there. There's definitely more meat on the bone if we wanted to go back to a rematch, and even he had agreed to that. But he was really happy with the way it turned out and thought it was great.
Oh, there's the real scoop. We got Raj and Dominic part 2. He's agreed to a rematch. So you gotta defend Kevin's honor here. You gotta get that title back for
Kev's
Kevin.
gotta defend his own. Kev will be back soon and he'll defend his own honor. I know that he wanted the match, and it's one of those weird things. Obviously, we were super pumped about doing Punjabi Prison earlier this year. Like that's like a big Kev dream match and things like that. But Dustin Alberti, the commentator, who's a friend of mine, he brought it up on commentary that he compared me to Randy Orton, and being that I'm the only person to wrestle the Bollywood boys in Jinder Mahal, and then Randy Orton to be the only other person. And then I brought up on Twitter that I think that me and Jinder is the first time 2 Punjabi Prison winners have actually faced off.
So did you guys share like tips on the Punjabi Prison? Because he said that match sucked and like it was just brutal. And like I watched Janela's Spring Break. It was a loose version of a Punjabi prison. The way that
I'm sure Jinder would have loved our version, at least in terms of like the accessibility and ease as opposed to the WWE version. Because I remember the week before the Janela Spring Break show, Kevin messaged me and was like, "These matches really sucked, huh?" And I was like, yeah. I was like, "You said this is your dream, but you've never watched these. Like, to understand how impossible the rules are and how you can't do anything and you can't see anything. Like, it's realistically a terrible match. Like, there's no way to make it good." Like Brian Danielson can be in a Punjabi Prison, and I don't know if he could solve that riddle.
I love that Kevin is just like, that's my dream match. Never actually watched it. Don't know what it entails. It just looks cool. The toy looks cool. So I just want to have this match.
Yeah.
Let's talk about AIW, and, the wrestling eyes of the wrestling world are on Cleveland this week. You're facing Manders. Motor City Machine Guns are going to be there as well. Just Cleveland wrestling in general. I feel like it gets a pretty good rap overall. I don't think it gets really bad. Right? Gargano, Miz didn't do like indie scene, but still, Logan Paul has gotten more eyes on there. Like Cleveland is pretty hotbed, feels like, for wrestling and people coming out of wrestling. So how you feeling just as a guy who reps Ohio and a guy who reps Cleveland, now kind of the wrestling world converging on the city for this weekend?
Yeah, it's a big deal. When we had initially heard the rumors of SummerSlam, I heard him around the middle of that last NFL season. We'd all kind of heard about it. And, I have some friends that work in the Browns organization, and, they had some rumblings. And I had originally thought that the last Browns home game of the year, they were going to make the announcement. Obviously, they held off a little bit on it. But if you've done any of the kind of research on Cleveland wrestling, really, JT Lightning set it forth here, with Cleveland All-Pro. And when JT got sick and stepped back, Thorne kind of took the mantle with AIW. And really, it's kind of been AIW's scene for about the last, 14-ish or so years, 15 or so years, I would say, And really, John hasn't really turned back from it. And, I look at it, and John's had so many chances to turn back from it. I mean, obviously, we talked about yesterday would have been Chandler Biggs' 42nd birthday. And, when Chandler passed away in 2017, the company was not in great financial state just because of everything around it. We all were in bad mental states as we had lost our friend and, our peer. So, to come through that, and it's been big. And I really would say over the last, 6 to 8 years, especially since I've been there, because I debuted in March 2016, the growth of the company has been exponential. I mean, when we look at, venues, is this venue big enough for us and things of that nature and such. But the Cleveland wrestling history is rich. Back to the Cleveland All Pro when JT was promoting, back to, the guys who have come out of this area. Obviously, you have guys like The Miz and Logan Paul who kind of supersede the idea of the local indie scene. But then you have a lot of people on the local indie scene that have, really benefited from the Cleveland scene. Obviously, Johnny is, front runner on that, probably the most successful guy to come out of this area. But you go look at it like a Raymond Rowe, Eric, it's Eric. I always forget Eric and Ivar and the Viking crew. Eric, Ray Rowe came from here. Shane Taylor, who's doing very well in AEW Ring of Honor, came from here. And then you look at some of the talent that have kind of gotten like a name in AEW. Might not be Cleveland born and bred, but Cleveland, they owe a lot to Cleveland. You look like Britt Baker. She was told by WWE at the time, hey, come and train Johnny and Candice, and she became one of our classmates. And I mean, renewed success there. So you look at a guy like Lee Moriarty, who, while he's Pittsburgh born and bred, got a lot of big acclaim from AIW. And you look at it, he really made his name off of that Alex Shelley match with us and kind of hit the ground running from there. John's always been a great talent evaluator from our own talent and our outside talent, and that helps us out a lot. And if you look at it, we really spent the last 6 years building from within. The entire indie wrestling landscape has changed, and if you have the ability to build local and hopefully grow these young individuals to the next level, that's the big thing you can do.
You mentioned Logan Paul and The Miz, and of course, Logan has mentioned that he's going to bring Mr. Cleveland to SummerSlam. We're trying to figure out who Mr. Cleveland is. So I guess really the first question is, Dominic Garrini, are you Mr. Cleveland? And if it's not you, who the hell is it?
So it's not me, but damn. I would venture a few guesses. If you really want to be a heel in Logan Paul's sense to actually get booed in his home area, he'd bring Johnny Manziel out because that would be a very people in here do not really like Johnny Manziel. Wasted draft pick, wasted talent, all that thought process. That's one thought. If they're trying to get a babyface pop and you want to get a babyface pop in that stadium, Stipe Miocic, current UFC or UFC heavyweight, would be a massive pop for that. Mr. Cleveland, if I had to think of other people.
Dom, real quickly, what do you think of this man? You'll know this. You'll get this reference. What if it's this guy?
Honestly, for a localized, that's perfect. Like Tim Misney is a local legend.
Yep.
So he might.
That's what I keep telling everybody. That's they don't get it, but I'm like, no, Cleveland people, Ohio people. Yep, exactly.
Tim Misney could be Mr. Cleveland. You're right.
I knew I could pop somebody from Ohio on this. Thank you. It should be Tim Misney. It 100% should. Dom, I know you mentioned you only have 15 minutes, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. Just go ahead and let everybody know AIW this weekend, everything else going on with Cleveland this weekend. Just plug anything and everything you want to plug.
For sure. So AIW Cleveland this weekend. We're obviously kicking off SummerSlam weekend tomorrow night in Cleveland at Temple Live. All reserve seating is gone, so everything that's left now is mezzanine level. $15 tickets, not a bad seat in that building. Building seats about 1,000 people. We're about halfway to that goal. So any and all, if you are coming to town for SummerSlam, you are probably not going to have a better, after Ticketmaster fees, about $25 spent than this. I mean, you look at the card. Obviously you mentioned myself and Manders. Two world travel guys going at it. You've got Kenta making his AIW return, who I wrestled back last November. He's wrestling Isaiah Broner, which is going to be an amazingly great match in terms of seeing if Broner can kind of bring out that old Kenta in him a lot like I did back in November. Anthony Green making his AIW return. He's only wrestled for us once, but he's coming back here to wrestle Wes Barkley for the AIW Intense title. Great test for Wes. I just spoke with him last night. He came up to training. He's really excited to see the innovation that Anthony brings, and obviously that experience from Pro Wrestling Noah that Anthony just spent about 6 months over in Japan. Obviously, I beat the drum to bring the Motor City Machine Guns in, especially if this was going to be kind of the last hurrah. And that was before I remembered that it was a Biggins, bucket list thing to book them. They're also doing a very exclusive meet and greet, which they do not do if they've ever been on an indie show. So they're doing that all pre-sale. So if you go to the AIW website, there's a link to getting that pre-sale to meet and greet with them, which could be very beneficial because they are not probably long for this world to do meet and greets. So they're going to take on PME, who, if anybody's familiar with PME, they have, once again, I talk about building that local talent up, and we have truly done that with a team like PME, very well-renowned tag team that everybody knows. Philly and Marino have worked their asses off for this opportunity, and they're very grateful for this opportunity. Bringing a little scramble action in there, a lot of faces in that one, including Harvey Holloway, who is a rising star in the independent wrestling world, who better watch out for this guy. The John Thorne dream match of Kaplan versus John Wayne Murdoch. They are just going to do some very, very dumb things and, have very little regard for their bodies. Can't forget about the ladies, Jocelyn Navarro, Rachel Armstrong. Rachel Armstrong really making a name for herself on the indies and coming up, and wrestling Jocelyn, who has kind of been the mainstay in AIW in the female division. So there's all that. And then I'm trying to think. I know we've got a pretty big main event, which is kind of all homegrown talent minus one. So it's Josh Bishop, the Intense Icon, current TNA star. And then he's going to be taking on Derek Dillinger, another homegrown talent, kind of from our system. And then you toss in Alec Price, who is probably pound for pound one of the best independent wrestlers right now in the world. And then they're all going to be taking on Chuck Stone, who is one of the most underrated talents around. He just hasn't really gotten out to travel as much. And I think that those four guys are going to mesh really well and give a really awesome main event. And then how could I forget? He's got kids. So we got to book Heath Slater, to come on in. And he's going to be taking on Eric Taylor. Eric Taylor looking to, regain, himself after losing the Intense title. So it's a packed with pre-show. I think we're at 11 matches. So, but I guarantee you that 11 match card will be done in under 3 hours. You can hold me to that. Stopwatch that. Pre-show does not count. So I could say, I would believe from 7:30, we would be done with the show by 10:30. So it should be quick in and out the door. And then if you are in Cleveland tomorrow and you want to come out party this after, Old 86 is where we have our after party.
All right. I got to ask this real quickly. If you have time, they want to put me through a table at an upcoming show. And so I don't want to do it, but I'm almost being bullied into doing it.
He's going to do it.
It all matters. So there's a lot of things that matter, when you're doing a table bump. Like if you look at the tables that WWE has and Deadlock hits these tables, it must be wherever the wholesaling is. I can tell you right now, if you take the support beams off them or make them, like people say, you're barely getting stopped, and you can literally break them from the slightest bit of pressure. This is a funny story, and this happened to me and Colby Carino, of all people, both at Deadlock shows, where we were planning a spot with a workhorseman in the cage match, and I went to lay on the table that they had taken the support beam off of, and I literally fell right through it. So to an end, literally 6 shows later, Colby's getting ready to wrestle Masato Tanaka, and he does the exact same thing. And I said, you should have asked me. I said, I could have told you that wouldn't work. So most of those are easy, but the sketch gets for you is if you do the normal indie wrestler thing and you look on Facebook Marketplace and then you see somebody selling 15 tables and you're like, oh, I want to buy one. You kind of got to evaluate those tables and see, okay, what are these made of? What's the composition of this? If I do take the supports off, how do I do it, etc. Because sometimes some of those tables have like a steel support beam in the middle that people don't know exists, and you try to go through it 15 times and it's not there, or there's extra supports that you don't know are there. So realistically, it doesn't hurt badly. It actually is pretty okay because it kind of stops your fall. So it's not too bad.
I don't trust Cole Radrick to run this correctly. That's who wants to do this to me.
That's a demolition derby guy. I would trust him.
He keeps himself safe.
He doesn't like me. He doesn't like me. I don't trust them. I don't trust. Can I hire you to protect me? Oh,
Yeah.
Ohio, we got to stick together.
I got you, Jeremy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Tom. Thanks, man.
Tom. Oh, the one and only Dominic Garrini.
Dominic Greyson is fantastic. So I didn't want to fully promote because I messaged Dom the other night. He was like, "Yeah, can we do 12? Like, I have a work thing." I was like, "Yeah, we'll go long. We'll do 12." But after that, I did not hear from him. So I said we would do 12. I sent him the link. I didn't hear anything. So that's why I get very freaked out about, like, I don't want to promote this and then it doesn't happen if I don't have a confirmation. But he showed up. It was all good. I appreciate Dom showing up. Yeah, if you're in Cleveland for the whole weekend, AIW, you definitely want to check out the show. It's going to be a fun time. We appreciate Dom joining us. He's fantastic. He's been on Spotlight a number of times. He's always very gracious with his time. And yeah, I'm going to need him to help me go through. I like how we had like the support ones. And
he knows. He knows.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he does. He's been around. He knows.
He'll help you, and maybe he'll be the one to put you through it. Who knows? He'll do it safely. He'll make sure you're okay. Before we get out of here, we'll do the Dynamite thing. Two things. One, Glassdoor Gamer sent a super chat saying Mean Street Posse for Trio Champs. I'm all about it. I'm here for it. That's what's going to happen. And also, I hate to tell you, your tweet's doing some numbers. Nyla Rose got a hold of it.
Oh, did she?
She says, "Why do you think we call him TK? It stands for 2 cups."
I didn't realize that Nyla Rose.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Fair. All right. I did see that like a lot of people were commenting. I don't have time to look at all these comments, but that's
some of these are actually pretty bad. No one's being dickish. No one sucks yet.
It's so we're doing a bit fun here. I don't feel like too many people are gonna suck. But
you'd be surprised.
I know.
It is wrestling. I know. All right. Oh, look at that. There's a Dynamite Grand Slam update on ticket sales. So just in time. Let's do the Dynamite thing real quick. How do you want to
By the way, as you said that, the most recent comment was, "What happened to AEW being an alternative to WWE? LOL." So
see, there's always one.
Yeah, there's always somebody.
We're always getting 1, 2 cups, 1 con.
Oh fuck! Oh, that's not.
Someone made a comment that I thought was very funny. It was something like, if you watch the press conferences, you know that's the amount of cups he would have downed like by now, 7 minutes in, or something like that. It was a very, very good comment. I love it. AEW Dynamite tonight from the Bolsacool Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. Is that
where it's at?
Yes.
I knew it was in South Carolina.
Greenville.
Yeah, there's a Greenville, North Carolina.
Greenville. Is the Ville green? Is it green in the Ville?
Yeah, there's a Greenville, North Carolina as well.
Seems bad. All right, who are you doing it as?
We got a great show for everybody here. AEW.
Oh, not the freeze immediately. Did someone get that screen cap? Oh, you're back.
All right, Joel, here's your challenge. I got the marker. You got to do shocked face this entire Dynamite preview. All right? You got to hold the shocked face the whole time. All right? Can you do it? We shall find out.
Go for it.
Shane McMahon yells. This could technically be Shane McMahon doing this as well. That dude yelled all the time.
Just make sure you're dancing around with it while you do it.
Fuck. Okay, hold on. All right.
Are you gonna stand up?
Yeah. I gotta stand up.
All right.
I gotta like tilt my camera here.
It's gonna be the short at this point.
Tilt this thing way back. Are we good?
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, it shouldn't be just dong in the shots.
Yeah, no, we don't need that. Hip thrusting over here. All right. Hopefully my internet holds on this. All right. You ready? You good?
Yeah.
We got a great show tonight for everybody. AEW Dynamite live 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. We had a tremendous meeting with Tony Khan on Monday, and tonight it's going to be Will Ospreay taking on Lance Archer. Will Ospreay and Lance Archer in a battle of their New Japan classics. You don't want to miss Will Ospreay taking on Lance Archer live tonight. AEW Dynamite only on TBS. Also, we're going to hear from Bryan Danielson, my old friend Bryan Danielson. What's Bryan Danielson going to have to say as he prepares for his AEW World Title match against Shane Strickland, Swerve Strickland, and AEW All In? It's going to be Danielson. He's going to speak live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on AEW Dynamite. Also, the CML World Women's Title Eliminator match is going to be Willow Nightingale taking on Chris Statlander. If Chris Statlander wins, she will have a match for the CMLL World Women's Championship. That's live, 8 p.m. Eastern, only tonight, only on AEW Dynamite, only on TBS. And we got Mariah May. What's Mariah May gonna say when she speaks to Renee? Mariah May, say, Renee, hey! AEW Dynamite, 8 p.m. Eastern, live tonight, 8 p.m. TBS. You get winded doing this. Jesus. Shane's got good cardio. This takes a lot out of you, you know?
No, he doesn't. We both know he doesn't.
To yell while like you're dancing and stuff. Fuck. You didn't hold the shock face, Joel. You didn't hold it. You gotta hold it. Darby Allin, he takes on Hangman Page live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. You're gonna see Darby Allin. He's gonna be like me. He's gonna fall. He's gonna fall off things. That's what Darby Allin does. Let's go. Let's go, Darby Allin. The conglomeration. Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, Tomohiro Ishii, taking on Roderick Strong, the Beast Mortos, and Roosh. Plus, and finally, CEO, my old friend, Mercedes Moné. She's going to speak. What will Mercedes Moné have to say? She will not stop to Renee, but she will speak with Camille. 8 p.m. Eastern, live AEW Dynamite, only on TBS. You don't want to miss it. We got a tremendous show. Thank you to all the great AEW fans. Justified. This is awesome chant.
That was great.
Takes a lot out. Fuck. You should see my computer. There's so much spit.
That's just like a WWE camera after Shane O'Mac cuts a promo.
There's so much spit. Sweating like Shane O'Mac as well.
Wow, you're on top of this.
Hold on. It's a little dirty.
Yeah.
I'll take this photo here.
Woo! You getting these photos from people?
Yeah, look at this. Can you see?
Oh yeah.
The spit on there?
Yeah, that's some spit.
Oh well, whatever. Hopefully people see it. Maybe I'll upload it. I don't know.
Shout out to Mario who sent us some screen caps.
Oh boy.
That's so funny.
Clean off my computer here.
Oh god.
Oh,
amazing. Anyway, that's the show for today. I think we did well. Listen, we went way long to make up for the last few days, and I think I can say I'm happy with that. You have anything to plug before we get on out of here tonight?
I'm exhausted.
I can imagine. Go take a nap. You don't have to do work today. Spotlight tomorrow morning. Go watch it.
Yeah.
We're back on Friday.
I don't know if I'm have a voice.
You'll be back. It's fine.
Fuck.
It's gonna be a busy day on Friday. But we'll keep you
It's gonna be a
abreast.
busy weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch wrestling. I'm gonna enjoy wrestling, maybe.
Will you love wrestling?
Nah, Thea Hail's not wrestling.
That's true. That's upsetting. But
Yeah.
she'll be back on Tuesday. But we'll be back on Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Tell your friends, are we better than Busted Open? Probably. Get your water. Take
Need
a
some
photo.
water.
Get some water. Tag us on the internet. Tell us what you're drinking in the water world with your photo of your bottled water and hashtag in the weeds or something. I don't know. Not in the weeds or something. I don't know. Like in the weeds.
In the water.
In the water. Hashtag in the water. Tag us both on our socials. We'll get it. We'll get to it. Okay. Till then, for Jeremy Lambert, I am at Joel Pearl, JOELPEARL. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you on Friday.